Hello, hello, hello. This is Attorney Mike Gravelin coming to you from Chicago as usual. And I didn't know I was going to do this till the last minute here, but here I am. It's a really good clip. It's longer. This is more of a hangout. It's a full sovereign citizen trial. It was sent to me by Team Skeptic. Thank you, Team Skeptic. Speaking of which, I have to invite him to this. He actually did a video on it a little bit ago. That's the very end, but I'm doing the whole trial. I'm going the whole hog here. We've got a sovereign citizen out in Keene, I think New Hampshire, just making a nuisance of himself, but we get to see him in court, and it is fabulous. Let's get this party started. Let me go here. Yeah.
Get them warm.
Footloose.
Heat broken? Heat broken?
I have some problems with it. We're working on it.
It's part of the budget.
Sorry about the...
Part of the budget.
All right, I'll record it now.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you. Please be seated. Good morning.
Do I sit here? What's going on?
Come on up, sir. Are you Frank Staples?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Then you come on up and have a seat.
Thank you.
Yep, that's a young guy with a man bun and a cane.
All right, and I apologize for the temperature. They are working on it. Apparently, it's 59 degrees of air, and they're working on it to get it warmer for us. So with that, I do apologize. Let's get started. We have three matters on this morning for Mr. Staples. Dockets number 435, 2021 CR 240, 2021 CR 239, and 2021 CR 46, State versus Frank Staples. We're scheduled this morning for trial on all of those matters. They include two violations of town ordinance, as well as the disorderly conduct. Attorney DeCroce, are you ready to proceed?
We are, Your Honor. We'll
Okay.
do them all at once.
Yeah, that's generally how we'll do it. I've got this time set aside, right? Attorney DeCroce, you're planning that, we're going to hear testimony on all, or do you want to start one at a time?
If you do one at a time, I'd like to do them in order.
Okay.
Chronological order.
That's fine.
Well, no, the 8:15 scheduled one is the
that's
January
Thank you,
31st.
Tom.
And I
Okay.
have a different witness for the 9:15 one.
Okay.
So,
We're proceeding on the first docketed matter, which is the January 31st.
So we're going to go backwards.
You should, Stephanie.
Yes. And that's who you have for your witnesses?
yep.
Okay, all right, so with that, let's address that. And you understand, let's see, Mr. Staples, you're here, you're representing yourself, you are ready to proceed. And in the ordinary course, you understand it's the state's burden to prove each and every element of the offense beyond a reasonable doubt. After we hear the testimony of the witnesses, you're entitled to cross-examine those witnesses, which are questions specific to their testimony, which is different than your testimony if you choose to either call witnesses or testify, okay?
Believe
Any
it, New
questions?
Hampshire.
No.
All right. Attorney DeCroce, you may call your first witness.
We're on the Sid call Cindy Feenstra.
Let's go.
I'm going to go stand by that chair up there and raise your right hand.
That is interesting.
Swear to tell the testimony you'll give in this proceeding be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. That's it.
Oh yeah, it's bad.
Say your name, please, and spell your last name for the record.
Cindy Feenstra, F like Frank, E-E-N-S.
And where do you live?
I live at 72 Hemlock Court in Newfield.
Unclean hand in the house.
How long have you lived there?
Almost 25 years.
And on January 31st of this year, at about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, were you home?
Yes,
And did anything happen around that time that you recall?
Yes, it did.
What happened?
Normal Sundays, a group of protesters would come always around between 2 and 4, and same as all of the other visits. A group of protesters started walking up the path from the country store, which goes right in front of my kitchen window. I think it was around 2 or 2:15. In the afternoon, it was a small group, maybe 10 or 12 people, I'm not sure. And they had signs and were yelling, and right away proceeded to the circle, which is directly in front of my house, and just started ranting and raving and shouting, which was normal. This time it seemed to be a little bit more escalated. My family was home, as we normally were on a Sunday.
And how long did this go on for?
I don't know, maybe
Oh, yeah.
35 or
You can have to invite him right now.
hour.
Could you hear what they were saying?
Oh, yes.
What were they saying?
It was just, I mean, anger. It was anger. It was directed towards the governor, angry about the mask mandate, angry about all kinds of things, First Amendment rights, and it's just ranting and raving and shouting and agitation and aggression.
Were they using any words which you found were offensive?
Yeah. I mean, I've had obscenities shouted at me, and I mean, that particular day, the ranting and raving was, you know, it was just all kinds of random rants and raves.
Why were they yelling stuff about the governor on your street?
I mean, I suppose their intention was for the governor to hear, which I'm assuming he was never even home. It was us that was home. I was in a pandemic with a sick family and a sick mother that I was caring for, so we didn't leave our house.
Do you know where the governor lives?
He lives right next door to me.
Is that 71 Hemlock Road?
Yeah, so there's a little path that separates our house. So my kitchen window sees the path. So whenever
Skeptic, I just sent you a link on Discord.
there's people congregating or walking up and down the path, essentially it's my kitchen. That's my house. The governor's house is on the other side. When you walk up to the circle, that's also in front of my house. So there's only 3 houses at the end of the cul-de-sac. There's the Droskys, the Smoonies, and then there's us.
All right. And do you have a doorbell camera that?
We do.
Was it working that day?
It was.
Did you record what was going on outside?
We did. My son did. My son's room is directly above the garage. Both my boys have rooms above the front of the house on the top floor.
And it actually has pictures too.
It does.
Now, recognize that?
I do.
What is that?
My driveway.
And what is it a picture of? Is that the cul-de-sac you're talking
Yeah,
about?
this
The circle?
is the path that the governor's house is there. This is my house. This is my boys' cars. And that's the circle. That's my mailbox.
Okay.
This is my yard. This is my yard.
All right. And you recorded 3 different recordings on the
My
31st?
son did, yes.
Your son did. Okay. So they're at the cul-de-sac and you can hear them in your house?
Yeah, my camera's probably right above his car.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Gia. Oh, yeah. Y'all have
So you're
to.
gonna lay the foundation and then offer it, or are you, I'm not looking at this time because you haven't, I understand you're laying a foundation of what she recognizes and then I expect.
This is what you recorded on your
That's
camera phone?
Yes.
3 different recordings?
Yeah, there's 3 different.
Does this accurately depict what you recorded
Yes,
that day?
exactly.
You really got to hang in for the sentencing at the end. That is the best. It was on Skeptic today, so I know a lot of you saw it, but it really gets crazy.
Okay. And did you do anything about the noise?
When the noise started, I called the Newfield police with a noise complaint, and that was all that my ever complaint was. I mean, I've lived in town for 25 years. I've never
Thank you,
called the
Jeremy.
Newfield PD for anything. But when the protesters started coming, the disruption was out of control. And all I wanted, I mean, if there was a peaceful protest in front of my
he's my
house, that's
neighbor.
fine, but that's not what it was.
All right.
You live in
And
that neighborhood, I guarantee it.
how does this make you and your family feel with them out there?
I mean, we were concerned. I didn't know who was carrying weapons and who wasn't. I they sounded angry. And as I mentioned, I was home caring for my terminal mother, and I had 3 people in my household that had just recovered from COVID, and it's Sunday, we're home as a family.
Is it fair to say that it disturbed you and your family?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Nothing else?
Counsel, before you cross-examine, I guess I just want to be clear on, you showed her the video, you laid the foundation. Has Mr. Staples seen a copy of the video? Are you offering it?
We will be offering it. Yes, he has. Well, his old attorney got a copy of it. I don't know.
Okay, but even today,
I requested a full copy of all the video from their security, but they just provided these little clips, and he's never responded back to my email asking for full discovery.
okay, but what he's offering right now is...
It's fine, it is what it is.
All right. So
Am I going to be able to enter in my videos as well?
Well, we'll see when it's your turn and you go to offer what you have.
I don't have a laptop and stuff like
Right,
that.
I mean, we'll
Yeah, Big Dummy, you need something to show the video when you get to court. If you had a clue, you would know that. Overall, though, I will say he melts down in the sentencing, but before that, he does a better than average job for a pro se, which is to say horrible, but it could be worse. A lot of this, he actually sort of makes sense and is trying to get to a point.
we'll get there. But you have it on a drive?
I have it on a drive, yes.
Are you offering it, is I guess what I'm asking.
Those 3 clips now, but then there's more clips on
Okay.
there with
All right,
other
so-
witnesses.
Why are they clips is what I'm wondering. Why isn't there a full video
Thank you, Bill.
of the whole day?
I'm understanding it's from the Ring doorbell or the
We never, we never saved full video. We took
Right, you didn't
clips
save it,
of
took
that
full
day
video.
just so that,
So you edited
well, it's not edited, they're
Well,
just little
let's not argue
clips.
with the defendant.
Okay, all right. So,
your clips, they're edited.
and this all right, so you're done with your
Yes.
testimony, cross-exam for this witness.
Sure. So you said that it was more escalated than usual. What made it more escalated than
The
usual?
shouting, the ranting, the...
They'd never shouted before?
No, it was
What
always
about-
shouting.
Okay, hold on a second. Just give her an opportunity to answer, and then you go on with your next question, okay?
The shouting and the yelling?
Seemed escalated, and from the point that you arrived, from every minute that you were out in the circle, it got louder, and you seemed more agitated and more...
So my voice got louder?
Yeah. It
And,
was loud from when you showed up, and that's when I called.
and you said there was a lot of protests out there before?
Yeah, I feel like their protesters came regularly right around Thanksgiving all the way up until this point, and still coming.
Sure, and was there ever amplified sound out there?
In the beginning, there was megaphones and that sort of thing, and then when that stopped, it got a little bit better. But on January 31st, you heard the yelling. That's what I hear from my home.
Sure, so was it louder than the megaphones and the amplified sound?
Thank you,
Um,
Dr. Kenneth.
It's comparable, I would say. I mean, you heard it.
So you said it went on for 45 minutes to an hour?
I mean, I didn't time it, but that's my recollection of it, generally speaking, from when I have to leave to go to my mom's house in Elliott to care for her. I couldn't get out of my driveway that day.
And what was particularly offensive besides the loudness?
The ranting, the raving, you can't leave my house, my dog barks constantly, it's Sunday afternoon. I mean, I generally would walk in the woods, but when you're in a circle in front of my house and you're on the path next to my house, I have nowhere to go except in my house.
Okay.
Thank you.
And what wasn't peaceful?
The yelling and the shouting and the ranting and the raving.
The shouting and the yelling, so no violence? No threats of violence?
Not that I saw.
Okay.
Good witness. Yes, there's sort of vague complaints, and actually he's doing a good job of pointing that out. For a pro se soft sit, that's amazingly good. It really is. I'll call it straight. He doesn't know the procedure, and he's doing some things badly, but there's a point to his question that's way above average. However, she is really good, and you'll see the officer is really good in that they don't oversell their positions. They're excellent witnesses.
Are you aware of the 45-minute conversation that we had with your husband
I
when he
goosebumps.
had COVID?
No objection, relevance.
Okay.
peaceful interactions with
Hold on.
the neighbors.
Before she answers, just tell me what's the relevance of that question?
The relevance is to show that we were peaceful and talking and interacting with the neighbors, her own husband for that matter. And I have 45-minute
So
video.
if she's aware of it, I think she can at least answer the question and it goes
Well,
to.
yeah,
Shockingly rational response from a pro se, and a good analysis from the judge. Honestly, don't worry, it falls apart. But right here, everyone's kind of making sense.
On this particular day, we need to know whether he's talking about this particular
Okay,
day.
that's a fair question.
No, but
Which
I
are you referencing the January 31st date is your question?
No, this was prior to
Okay.
that date.
All right, so,
Correct.
much
Not
better.
relevant.
okay, so that's not relevant necessarily to this. All right, go ahead, your other question, sir?
And how many other people were there being loud? Because it says that you said there was other people, in this police report, there was other people, right? There's other protesters there?
Well, I don't know.
How many approximately?
I mean, I would say 10 to 12.
10 to 12?
Yeah, it's a guess. I don't remember exactly. It was always different.
Yeah, I mean seriously.
Well, this time, this day.
I would say 10 to 12 is my best guess.
That hits me right in the head right there.
And did you see myself get arrested?
Yes.
And when did the Newfields police
Oh, there's
come
no
and
doubt
talk
about
to you? You were the reporting party?
When did they come talk to me?
Before or after my arrest?
I don't believe anybody came and talked to
They
me.
never came and talked to you once.
Yeah. I mean, they took my phone call.
Right. But then when they came on scene, they never went and talked to you, correct?
Right.
Right. Even after, because after I was arrested,
I left for my mom's as soon as I was able to get out of my driveway.
interesting. Okay. Thank you, that's all.
Okay, any redirect?
No.
Thank you. You can sit
No.
down. Can this witness be
Categorically, no.
excused? You know, if you intend to call her in your case and she can be excused, sir?
Yeah, no, she's
over the
fine.
man
Okay, all
bun
right, thank you.
any day of the week.
Next witness.
Second call, Officer Schwartz.
Officer Schwartz is solid. He really is. This goes on for a while, but he does not oversell anything. He's just a good witness.
Raise your right hand. Swear affirm testimony about the evidence proceeding will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
Proceed. State your name, please. Spell your last name for the court record.
Michael Schwartz, Schwartz.
You there? You there, skeptic?
Oh yeah. How you doing?
Hello. Nice to see you.
Yes, man. Good to be here. Good to be.
This is all your fault.
It is.
I'm telling everybody here, this is all Skeptic's fault. He sent this to me. Then I looked at it. I was going to do it yesterday, but whatever. Who cares about how it all went down? But a lot of you probably saw the end, the sentencing, which is fantastic. I caught a little bit of your video.
Yeah, I had some questions about the video that maybe we can talk about towards the end of this, because of my complete legal expertise is about the amount of the fine he requested, which was 0.
Right.
So I would like to get some legal expertise opinion on a few things that I have questions about. So that's good that we're having this conversation.
Absolutely. I'm glad you sent this to me because it does present good legal issues. It really does. All right, we'll get going.
And are you a officer of the Newfields Police Department?
Yes,
How long have you been with the Newfields Police Department?
since 2015.
And were you on duty on January 31st of this year?
Yes, sir, I was.
And at some point, about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, did you get a call to go down to Hemlock Court?
Yes,
What was that?
it was a noise complaint. Well, I was notified by our dispatch that there had been a noise complaint on Hemlock Court. I briefed Chief Liebenow, and he told me to respond down there.
Okay. So who'd you go down there? Did you go down with anybody else?
Hey, Mike, real quick, have you
I
seen
went with
the
officers.
video where he got
And what
arrested?
happened? When you got there, what did you see?
Well, I saw about, I don't know.
It's
probably
the only clip I've
15
seen.
Or so people
Okay.
that took hold
I've
of
seen
that.
the arrest video,
15 people
so I
in the
kind of have
road
an
that
idea of
closed
what
that.
they're talking about. Like
Most
this
of them
cop
were
was like
holding
really late to the
signs,
scene, you know. So he has very
couple of feet,
minimal
right, couple of
involvement, and that's
feet.
why some of the things he's like, I don't know whose name is on the
Officer
ticket and
Strand,
stuff like
who had
that.
been to
So,
similar
When it
That's
gets-
calls,
interesting. We're
pointed
going
out
to discuss that more.
Defendant, Mr. Staples. And there was some shouting, and I could hear, I could see, Mr. Staples was clearly, to me, the person coordinating things there. At one point, he told people that they were going to start singing COVID carols there. I took a position behind the cruiser, probably 150 feet away, and Mr. Staples came up to me and asked what was going on, why I was there. And I explained to him that I was there in response to a noise complaint. And I asked him to lower his voice. And he said he couldn't lower his voice, he couldn't modulate the volume of his voice because of a previous head injury, as he explained.
Person you're talking to, is he in the room?
Yes, the defendant, sitting,
You know,
right,
his name is,
Frank Staples.
right, would like to identify the defendant as Frank Staples. So,
I'm sorry.
he told him to lower his voice.
I asked him to lower his voice several times. He said he wouldn't and couldn't be told to do that. Again, saying he had a head injury. I explained more than once that I was there in response to a noise complaint. He needed to lower his voice. He went back to the crowd. Again, tried to get people to sing COVID carols. And they were raising their voices as well. And he was issued a summons for the disorderly conduct, which I think he brought back to the group.
Yep.
We're all getting tickets. But the volume continued. The shouting, the singing, and so I told him that if he continued on, he'd be arrested again for the disorderly conduct. And he continued on, so he was arrested
For what?
disorderly conduct.
And there's also a town ordinance that was in effect on this day.
Yes, yes.
Okay, did you cite him for that as well?
I believe Officer Strand issued him a summons for that.
Okay, you didn't do that.
I did not.
So, was there any problem?
If I can look at my notes briefly, I'm not sure. It might have been me.
Sure,
They
it might be.
put my name on that, if you don't mind.
Right in the same line.
Yes,
of
it was
thought.
actually the town.
Yeah, I
ordinance
love when he
received
raised
summons
his
for.
right hand to swear in, and it was like, who dressed you? You know, like how much have you shrunk down since that outfit was fitted for you? I
Yeah.
mean, granted, he's looking sharp. Okay, he's looking sharp, but that shirt's 2 sizes too big.
Yeah.
You need an Asian small. Okay, there's an actual size called an Asian small. I would
Well,
suggest you wear that in life. I wear Asian small. I know the size.
Yeah, I was gonna say you can relate because you are one of the skinniest people I've ever seen.
Oh, Mike,
Which is a good problem to have, my friend.
stop hitting on me, Mike. You're making me blush.
I'm not sure whose name is on the bottom of the summons. Mine or Officer Strand's.
So you got the summons for
For the town ordinance, yes.
And then,
Disorderly conduct for continuing on.
okay. Was the arrest peaceful? Did he go without any problems?
Certainly wasn't the, there was no violence involved in the arrest.
I love that answer. I love that answer. He's annoyed. The guy's irritating. He acts like he does in court, but he's not going to oversell it. He's saying, no, it wasn't violent. We didn't get into a fist fight. Yeah, I just arrested him.
Yeah, and
I would say
also
it's
just
controlled.
I've seen the arrest video, and it doesn't look like anything violent goes on, but they do some creative cuts there. Like for whatever reason, like they'll let a lot of talking go on, and then there'll be a cut, and it'll be a short amount of talking, and then a cut, and then
How long is this arrest video?
I
Do I
don't
have
know.
to, do I have to do another stream another day?
No. Let me look it up. Let me look at it real quick, and I'll let you know. Give me a second.
All right.
You can keep playing this.
Okay. And why did he get a town ordinance?
There's an ordinance prohibiting picketing, which certainly met the definition of what was going on there with the signage and things like that, and what was going on.
Okay. Can I approach the witness trial?
Yes.
Copy of the ordinance. I have a copy. Can I show you the town ordinance?
Yes. Yes.
What is that?
It's an ordinance for the town of Newfield prohibiting anybody from picketing before or about the residence of a dwelling of any individual in the town of Newfield.
So it's meant to
Prevent people from picketing
targeting individual homes.
individual homes, yes.
Oh. Top of this is states. What?
Any objection?
Which we'll see it in a minute when we get to
No.
it, but they're clearly doing. They're clearly targeting a home to picket in front of.
It's he says he's doing it to everybody, but you know that's ultimately my take on this is that this ordinance is vague and I highly doubt could pass constitutional muster. I'm being honest.
Get this, I don't think he got convicted on that. I think they only convicted him on the disorderly conduct, but they did not convict him on the. They either dropped the charges for picketing or they didn't get a conviction. One of the two happened.
Right. But I mean, but here's the problem, and this is where it does present good issues. He's annoying. I'd like to see him tased by, every police officer in the department. However, it's really hard to write an ordinance saying you can't picket. I mean, that's just blatant First Amendment violation.
Okay, I want to ask right now, how many people are watching you? Because I expect this many people to be there at my tasing video tomorrow on this guy and his friends. It exists, and I have it.
Sell it, brother. Sell it. Thank you.
Ye shall see a tase video tomorrow.
Oh, you're gonna tease a tase, are you?
I'm teasing the tase. Oh yeah, we're not watching it tonight. No.
No. There shall be no tase tonight.
Yeah, no tase. But let me find the
fireworks.
Oh man, yes, I've got it. Oh, it's so beautiful too. You hear him going, ow! Ow!
Oh, no, now that's good. I like this. All right, let's keep it going.
He states 1 minute.
Have no other questions, who's witness?
Okay, cross-examine.
Yes. So, when you showed up on the scene, you said there was 15 or so protesters with signs?
If I can refer to my notes, yeah, about 15 people.
Okay. And did you see me with a sign? Do you recall?
I don't recall if you had a sign. I don't, not that I recall. I remember you wearing a long black jacket. I don't remember you having a sign.
And so, when did you go talk to the calling party?
If I can refer to my notes. No, I don't recall ever having any direct conversation. Again, this is a call that came through our dispatch center.
Sure.
Yo,
so
Mike.
why didn't you go?
Yeah.
check Discord real quick.
Check what?
Check Discord. I just sent you the arrest video. Just giving
I
you.
talked to the calling party when you got there on scene.
Well, we don't typically do that because I don't know if this person is right there in the vicinity, but I wouldn't necessarily want a group of people that are upset to know that this is the person that called. So out of that person's safety.
Like right there is, I think, a fair exchange. This does get worse, but he's saying, so you never even followed up with the person who made the complaint, and he admits, no, I didn't, and the reason I didn't is because I don't want to expose them to you.
Right.
That's reasonable on both ends. A reasonable question from him as the defendant, and a reasonable answer from him as the officer.
Now, you already covered the part where the woman was on stage, I believe, or on
Yeah,
on the stand.
she's on the stand.
And I think when she was on the stand, I think if I remember correctly, she did say that they were preventing her from leaving the driveway. And at the first opportunity, after she called the cops, at the first opportunity that she got to leave the driveway, she drove. She just left because she felt scared for her life. Whether that was true or not, I don't know. But
Right.
I believe
I
that's
don't remember that. I do remember her saying she felt like she couldn't leave, and the same concept, though.
Yeah, well, maybe he's about to cover it right now. Maybe he's about to say, well, she told us that she left at her first opportunity when she got an opportunity to leave. Maybe that's where I'm getting it. Maybe I'm getting the two confused, and he's about to say that.
Yeah.
But I know that that's either about to come up or it already has come up that she was blocked in, or she claimed to be blocked in. And that's why when she got her first opportunity to leave, she left. And that's why he wasn't able to even make contact with the witness, because she had to leave.
Well, yeah, undoubtedly she was creeped out, and she was credible.
Yeah.
You normally go and talk to the calling party to get a report of the details of the call?
It depends on the situation, not in this situation.
Why not in this situation?
As I just explained, I wouldn't want to compromise that person's safety.
Safety.
I see.
Okay. And,
Oops.
forgive
Hate it when the
me,
witness
my
gets
stuff
good
is
answer.
all out of order here, and I do have head trauma. You said at first that you issued the summons for disorderly conduct, and then I walked over to show it to the people, and then you told me I had to leave, and then I came back, which is completely false. I have the video to prove it. And then
Here's your classic pro se. He just launches into arguing. He doesn't understand. You got to ask a question. If you want to do that, you do that in an argument.
retracted that and said that you issued a ticket and you weren't even sure if you wrote it, correct?
I wasn't sure if my name was on it or Officer Scran's.
Correct. Why wouldn't you be sure?
I guess I don't have a reason for that other than it doesn't matter which officer's name is on the bottom of it.
Okay, so why did you start talking to the state police on the scene when you first got there?
See what input they have.
What input did they have?
I don't recall anything. I don't know if I received any new information from them. Not that I recall, sir.
No new information from them, so they didn't add any, danger or non-peaceful, they were being non-peaceful, they're dangerous, they're threatening or anything like that? How many, so did they report anything like that? Threats, danger, violence?
Not that I recall.
How many state troopers were there?
I would estimate probably 10 or so. I didn't.
10 or so troopers?
I don't have a specific number. My recollection is it's not something that I would, need to document.
And are state police allowed to enforce the town ordinance?
I believe so.
No, object to relevance.
The relevance goes to the original one where the state police are the ones who gave out the first tickets. So that's the relevance. And why wouldn't they enforce the town ordinance if we're picketing outside and they can enforce the town ordinance? That's the relevance.
State troopers might
Pretty
not be
relevant.
aware of town ordinances, right? Oh, I can't hear you, Mike. Are you muted?
Absolutely. And all these officers have discretion, so they enforce whatever is at hand for them. It would make more sense for local authorities to enforce the ordinance.
Yeah.
He acts like it's some big gotcha, but it's just basically normal course of business.
as opposed for what happened with this individual, he's not claiming, we already said we gave him the ticket. So I'm not sure what the
Right,
problem is.
so I understand your question, but the relevance to you,
Is that we're doing all three of these things at once? So the original ticket,
yeah, go ahead.
the original ticket, I have two tickets, I'm the only one with two
3728.
tickets, yep.
Okay,
That was given by state police. And they were given guidance by the AG on how to enforce this ticketing ordinance. So I'm wondering why they didn't enforce the ordinance while there's 10 of them standing out there.
okay, so,
And how could this, how could this lady feel unsafe with 10 troopers out there? It's all bogus. This is all lies and you can't remember anything. We're gonna see the video, don't worry.
okay, so, Attorney DeCroce, I'm not, I think his question has relevance with respect to the first ticket, which were, the first summons, which we're not at this point.
Except, Your Honor, I have a copy of the first summons. It was given out by a Newfields police officer, not a state trooper.
Well, it was the state trooper that talked to me about it.
Okay, so in any event, that's more, I think, a legal argument as opposed to.
Sure, and it'll go into the memorandum after this, yeah, for sure, so
Are
I'm
you gonna
building
ask
that.
me to have time for a memo, because you haven't done one? We'll talk about that housekeeping after, okay?
Yeah, sure, I'm not a professional, I don't know what I'm doing.
So he cites a memo he hasn't written yet.
Yeah.
Oh, that is right.
And then I
I
love how like when the opposing counsel was like, "Accept, Your Honor," and then he presented his little like gotcha moment, and he just
Right.
took at it. He looked at it real quick and just handed it back like, I agree with you. Yes, whatever you say is right. Here you go. Just take it back.
Yeah, he's over his head.
I'm doing the best that I can do here.
Let's finish up and see if you have any other questions for this witness.
So what was my last question?
Sorry.
Oh, can the state police enforce the town ordinance?
Yeah, let's move on from that.
So, you have a copy
You know,
of the
Mike,
picketing thing?
I love how he says that that he's doing the best that he can do, and he's telling the judge that very confidently. When the best thing that he could have ever done was go get a lawyer to do all this for him.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about small stuff. You'll see at the sentencing, the stakes are low here.
Yeah.
But these soft sits and pro ses, they do this all the time. They vacillate between just really condescending and nasty. I know more than everybody, to I'm doing the best I can and I don't know anything.
Oh, so he was, I believe, charged with originally 4 counts of disorderly conduct and 1 count of a breach of bail. And they dropped all of it except for 1 count of disorderly conduct. So I think that's originally what he was.
But that's typical. You write a bunch of tickets, which all make sense relative to an incident. And at the end of the day, as a former prosecutor, you just want a conviction on one and say knock it off. That's standard. It's not because he was guilty of all of it. I'm sure.
Yeah.
There you go. Right, the judge goes.
Oh, thank you.
So, it is unlawful for any person to engage in picketing before or about the residence or the dwelling of any individual in the town of Newfields. Does this town ordinance apply to town buildings and public officials?
Well, a town building would not be a residence or a dwelling. So I would answer, my interpretation would be no as far as that part. As far as an individual, if what was the second part of the question, sir?
So what about a public official?
Public official.
Are they protected by this town ordinance?
I would interpret this as yes, they would be in their residence, residence or dwelling. I would interpret that.
And what is to engage in picketing?
Well, I would.
Right here, this is a strong argument. Not that he's that bright, but it does show the weakness of this ordinance that even this numbskull can pick it apart. It's extremely vague.
Is this where he asked him to define picketing, and he was like, he struggled to define? Yeah, and that's where I saw this, and I was like, man, they like a lawyer would have gotten you out of it. A lawyer, you'd have been done with it. Right
Well, a
there.
lawyer would have knocked this out. If I represented him, I would have knocked this out immediately.
Yeah. How are you even sure that you issued a proper ticket if you don't even understand what the basis of the ordinance is?
Right. And he's trying to say that, but he does it so clumsily and he's so offensive along the way that it just doesn't work.
And speaking of offensive, I do want to point out in my video, he did make the comment. He was like, I have a head injury and I can't control my voice.
Yeah.
And clearly he's having normal conversation right here. He
Oh,
might
yeah.
be slightly boisterous in his voice. I give him that, but he's clearly having a competent conversation right there. There is
Yeah.
no mental illness.
You know, that's a
involved.
good point because I saw that it shows up later in the video. And like I said, I'll call it straight. You know, right here, he's asking good questions and pointing out serious problems with his ordinance. I mean, it's obvious, but he's doing it.
He probably got help up until this point. This is probably the extent at which the help he got from some random person who was like, look, I know that you can ask him this right here, put hold.
Right.
And then he got to that point, but had no other coaching beyond that point. So
Well,
once
he
got him-
ultimately makes the argument that this ordinance is void for vagueness, and I think that's a good argument. But you're right, someone handed it to him, and other than that, he screws everything up.
yeah.
I'll remind you, I already asked you on video, we have that.
Sure, holding signage.
Holding signage. And anything else, just holding signage?
Protesting.
What is protesting? That's very vague in general. What does protesting mean? What are some elements of it?
Taking issue with a law or a rule or an issue.
So exercising our First Amendment rights?
Yeah. Sorry, sir?
Exercising First Amendment rights would be considered protesting?
I don't have an opinion on that.
Okay. So did you receive the same guidance from the AG as the state troopers? Are you aware on how to enforce this?
I have never had any direct input from the Attorney General's office regarding this. I was briefed on this by my chief.
Oh, the chief. So what did the chief tell you? Did he tell you how to enforce this?
He did, yeah.
And what did he tell you how to enforce it?
He said this is the ordinance. It's been cleared by the Attorney General's office. And, this is what the town has chosen to do, is develop this ordinance. So
Why? Why did they develop that?
That I don't know.
Finish his answer.
Okay, sorry.
So what was the question again, sir? I'm sorry.
I can't remember.
You said why?
Sorry,
Yeah,
why?
you said,
Oh, the second question? Oh, yes.
yeah, and I think he answered that.
Okay.
The question was,
Okay,
why
I'm
did they
confused
develop
here.
the ordinance?
So why was this ordinance created?
I don't have an answer for that, sir.
You don't have an answer for that.
Well, I wasn't part of it. I wasn't.
Where does this ordinance get its power from?
I don't object, that's a legal
Okay, so
question.
I do think a lot of what you're asking are
Okay.
for legal conclusions and they're issues of law.
All
different
right,
than-
so we'll get back to the elements of picketing. So you're saying signage is one of the elements of picketing,
The judge is right.
and protesting,
Chanting, I would think.
chanting. So why isn't this in the ordinance?
I'm going to object, he didn't write it, he's just enforcing it.
Okay, so what is before or about the residence mean? Where is before or about? How do we define that? Because there's residences before and about the town hall where I've picketed after this ordinance. And you said, correct, that the town hall was not covered, even though there was residences around.
Interesting. Thank you,
Can
Judge.
you repeat your question again, sir? I'm sorry.
So what is before or about the residence or dwelling of an individual? Before or about, what does that mean? How do you define that?
I would say if it's right in front of and specific to that residence, the activity, that would qualify.
Is there a distance?
There's no distance listed. This is the entire ordinance, sir.
Right, so that's what I'm trying to get at. So protesting, chanting, signage, are there any other, what else is picketing? What other elements are picketing?
I can't think of another one, sir.
Okay. So were you weren't at the first ticket thing, right?
See, in
So
my
just
opinion, Mike, he is missing so many opportunities to point out the fact that the issuance of the picketing ticket was based on a complete subjective view of that vague ordinance.
Yeah,
Giving so much room to get out of it. You know,
he's going there clumsily. I like this. What about this ticketing thing? That's what he just asked right now.
Hold on, rewind it just a little bit.
I don't know how to.
Oh no. Okay. Well,
I don't know how to, because if I do, it goes back like, you know what I'm saying? It's like very
don't do it. Don't do it then. Let's just keep going.
To kind of cover the disorderly thing. When you came on scene, you didn't talk to the calling party, but you did talk to the state police, and you can't remember anything that they said, correct?
I don't remember them offering any new information or anything.
No new information.
Relevant, no, sir.
And
I don't think they had. I don't think he had to
so
talk to
at
the
first you said,
I don't think he had to talk to the lady, because when you'll see in the video, when the cops are there, they're already being disorderly in front of the police officers. So the whole thing with the lady was, she may have been a complaining witness, and she may have been the person that initiated the call to the local PD or whatever, or even the state PD. I don't know how it went down like that, but they witnessed him with the disorderly conduct in front
Right,
of
they have
them.
enough of their own observation. They don't need to.
Yeah, they
to get a
didn't need
witness to
her.
back it up.
I think they needed her to get to prove why they were out there, you know,
Yeah,
to
they
show
needed,
like,
they needed a complaint to show up and say,
Yes.
we're investigating this, which
But-
they had, clearly.
yeah, and when they're out there, they're being loud, they've got a megaphone and everything, they're directing it at the front door of the house. I mean, in
Right.
my opinion, it's clearly at minimum disorderly conduct, you know, and they
Yeah.
probably could have charged him with a little bit more from their actions, but
It's a violation of this ordinance. There's no two ways about it. But does the ordinance withstand a constitutional argument? That's the problem on that particular ticket. But they were written several tickets, and some of them are real simple.
that you gave me the disorderly conduct citation, and then I went back and ordered people to sing carols, correct?
COVID.
Oh, thank you,
COVID
Senator.
carols, right. So, can we show this video? Because the carols, are you sure of that? Because are you sure that somebody else didn't start the carols? Because you don't seem to have a good memory. I'm going to be frank with you.
So what's your question, sir? I'm sorry.
My question is, when did I get the disorderly conduct? Did you hand me a citation for disorderly conduct ever? Or did you just arrest me for disorderly conduct?
You were arrested for disorderly conduct. You received a summons
For
the town ordinance.
So I received a summons for the town ordinance.
No, this is all nonsense. He got near some decent arguments, and the timing of when you received a citation is irrelevant. It really doesn't matter at all, and it's not going to help you.
right.
I never actually received a summons for disorderly conduct.
That's accurate.
Did you ever ask me to leave the area? It's on video.
I don't know if I asked you to leave the area. I told you to stop doing the activity.
Stop talking.
Stop doing the activity.
Stop doing what activity?
The
Picketing?
The picketing.
So you said stop picketing or you would be arrested?
Stop the conduct.
Stop what conduct?
This is actually good.
I mean, can we pull up the video?
Let me, if,
Because I'm going to impeach this guy right now.
let me just understand the foundation, which means what you want me to see and why of this witness, or generally, because if you're gonna testify, my understanding is you also have a video from that date that is part of your interaction with this police officer?
It's the full interaction, yeah.
Okay, but a portion of it you're asking me to look at right now, or to show first this officer about his memory of what was said?
Yes, and I would like to submit all of them uncut to you for your own.
Okay, but do you have it on
I have it on my
Drive?
phone.
Wait, you can't leave me your phone, I don't think. you
No,
can
but I
do
could
that.
download it
Okay, so let
somehow
me-
or something.
Attorney DeCroce?
Way to show up to court with the exonerating
I haven't
evidence,
seen the
not
edited
with
version of it. I've
you.
seen
You
it.
know, good job.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, I have video, but it's on my phone. I'm like,
Yeah.
Okay. I mean,
No,
you can't
he had
actually
to
show it. and he
download it.
does.
He had to download it to his phone. He was like, "Hey, hold on, I've got to download it to my phone real quick."
Like, has it occurred to you that's the day you gotta display it? you gotta think ahead, you know.
Nobody
Ah.
accused him of having multiple brain cells, Mike.
Okay. So what's the edited version? Do we have that
I don't know what he
somewhere?
has. He must have all the videos that are up on my YouTube. You guys are telling me you're spying on my Zoom calls and you're probably recording those too, but you haven't watched the videos that we have as evidence?
I didn't say I haven't watched the video, I'm saying I haven't.
Okay, so how do you know yours is edited or not?
Because there's clearly stuff missing from one scene to the next.
And there is.
Could it have been stopped and then started again?
So-
Yeah.
What you have right now,
He said, "Well, it couldn't have been stopped and started again." Well, yes, and that's a form of editing. He's not even saying it's a grand conspiracy. He's just saying it's not complete.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not. It's missing temporal segments of the entire event are missing from that video.
Right. So it just gets back to him not knowing things. So you have to have a foundation. Well, here's what it is, and you know, you have to have somebody testify to this.
And what I'm telling you, I believe that the uncut version he's talking about is the version I sent you. That is,
Okay.
and it has obvious cuts in it, and he's calling it the uncut version.
Gotcha. And all this shows up tomorrow.
Oh, no. That's just the arrest video for this trial. I've got another video that I found of him where he got
that's a different video.
tased. Yeah.
But it's electric. You're telling me.
Oh yeah.
When is that going to be up tomorrow?
Probably 4:00.
Sounds
I'm not even doing monetization, bro. I'm just putting it up and saying fuck it, giving it to the people.
All right. Team.
You want it?
Go over there, like and subscribe. Except you all
Okay,
have already.
hold on. How many people
4
are
o'clock
watching?
tomorrow. He's
How
got
many-
a
how many people are watching, Mike?
hot Tase video.
No, how many people are watching?
707. God bless you,
Okay.
people.
7. I better have 7. There better be 50. We'll say 60% of the people that are here tonight better. I need 2 things from you because they're not going to promote my video because it's a Tase video.
Right.
I'm not going to get monetized for it. Just help me out, guys. Show up to the premiere, 4 p.m. Central. Leave a like and say Law Talk with Mike, or say this.
I love
Team
it.
Skeptic on Law Talk with Mike told me to come say that I left a comment, and I will respond with a heart emoji for every person that does that.
I love
and
it.
So will Mike. Okay,
Yeah,
let me.
I actually really want to see this now.
Okay, I'm going.
I'm there. I'll be there.
how long is it?
I'll get it
that you
for you
wanna
tonight so we can show the
this
people tonight.
Officer, or is it something you're saying, I want to admit as evidence, Judge, and I want you to consider it? Because that's a different issue. I just am trying to figure out what you're asking right now.
So I want to do that, but I feel like we need to refresh this guy's memory.
This officer's
Okay,
why
memory.
don't
He's
you?
a guy.
I mean, whatever. It doesn't matter. You say refresh recollection is just a term of art. So that's the way you'd say it. And the judge was cool. He's like, I need to refresh this guy's memory. Oh, maybe it's only funny for us attorneys, but it's just wrong on so many levels.
He's just a man. He's not always a cop, but only a cop. Just
He's
saying.
here as an officer of the law right now. So in any event, why
Is
don't
he
you
though?
pull up what you've got and show it first to Attorney DeCroce, and then I'll let you approach.
There's a 10-minute video and a 6-minute video, and the only reason they are split is because I started it to walk over there and ask him what he was doing on the scene, and he said he was going to. So do you recall, sir, saying that we were all going to be ticketed, all 15 people? Do you recall telling me that when I walked over to you?
I don't remember that. I might have said that, but I don't have a specific recollection of that.
Interesting. So.
That would make sense, but it's irrelevant. It's like he can say that and then only ticket one. There's no problem. That's well within his discretion.
Everything good? Huh? Yeah, this is Staples. What's up?
Do you want to watch it up here with this officer in the interest of time, if we could do that?
That would be wonderful.
You're right. If this is the same 10-minute video, I have this.
Okay,
Great. We can just show it on this.
okay.
Excellent.
Okay?
Yeah.
All right.
Here's the best sign your video isn't that fantastic for you. When opposing counsel says, "Yeah, I've got it," and I'll show it to you.
Do you need to see it right now?
How are you?
Oh, that'd be great.
You can come and stand over here too.
Hi, good, how you doing?
Pardon my background.
Sure. All right, handshake it. Cool. So what's happening?
Can we pause right there? Is that Christmas carols right there?
What do I say?
Well, there's
So what's happening?
we're responding to the call.
What do they say?
Well, they're concerned about their peace.
Their peace
Yeah,
during the day?
yeah, the call we came after the call.
Sure. So we are here protesting the governor. This is the de facto state house. He's running, we've already talked to elected officials. They said he's not covered by the town ordinance. I'm just saying, I'm stating my position real quick. And so I can't control the volume of my voice. I have head trauma, and that's part of why I'm so loud. Okay? So I have post-concussion syndrome and head trauma. So I can't control the volume of my voice when I get excited.
Okay.
I'm disabled. Partially disabled, whatever. I don't like to use it as
My point is, if you bring it down, it would help in our conversation. So I'm letting you know.
Sure.
I'm not doing anything other than.
Yeah, I'm just trying. I appreciate it. Thank you. So, elected officials have already told us, and we've already talked to council, that his house is not protected by the ordinance. Number one, his house is the de facto state house. He has conducted official state business from his house. Number two, the order has no elements to it. I mean, the ordinance has no elements to it. So if you're gonna try to enforce the town ordinance, is that what you're trying to do, or?
Can I respond here?
Sure.
So I'm here trying to be responsive to some of these complaints, their complaints. So just so you understand.
So somebody, sure. Okay. I'm letting you finish.
So that's sort of my baseline, what I'm trying to accomplish. I certainly am respectful for your First Amendment privileges. I certainly am.
So there's sure.
I'm getting there.
Okay.
Just recognize what we're trying to do is strike that balance, because your interests, my interests don't matter, but the people who have their concerns, they're on the same footing as
Sure.
you or Randy or.
The neighbors, or one of these neighbors, it has to be the one, because it can't really be anybody beyond that.
That's,
So they should maybe talk to the governor, is what I'm suggesting.
Okay.
And so this is what I would say, is to point them to talking to the governor and saying like, hey, this house is not covered by the town ordinance. We can peacefully protest. I told you, my voice, listen, you can't tell me how to keep the volume of my voice, bro. I'm just telling you that I cannot control my voice, and you're not gonna tell me what volume to keep my voice. I'm not telling you this. I'm not telling you how to train your voice or control your voice, okay? So, I can't control my voice. If you wanna arrest me for having a disability, go right ahead, okay? Go right ahead. So, can we continue the conversation? So,
can I make a point there?
sure.
Well, thank you. So, what I will lay out is, yeah, there's gonna be a point where it's not gonna be acceptable.
What is that point?
Well, we're getting there
We're getting there because they're singing Christmas carols? Kobe Carols, we're getting there. Well, how are you making that determination? By the calls? How many calls? Because I can do a Freedom of Information Act request.
Actually, I don't have that.
Okay, so you don't even know if you've had a call.
No, we have.
Okay, what was the call about?
Again,
Their piece, meaning what?
I think we're getting a little logical here, don't you think?
No, because they're saying we're disturbing the peace. How? They have to, you need to be able to articulate yourself. And cite the law and the elements of the offense. And tell me how we're violating it.
Again, their peace is being disturbed, that's why we're out here. So
Whose peace is being disturbed? And by who? Just me? By my loud voice? Because I was the only one that was being audible at a distance. Right? Am I correct?
So here's where we're at. Where we're at is, we're gonna start issuing substances
For
the ordinance.
For the ordinance, okay, good. Let's do it. Let's go. No, let's go. Let's get these tickets going.
Give you a chance to get out of here.
No, we want the tickets. We want the tickets. Nice try, though. Let's go. We're all getting tickets. Bring on the tickets. Bring on the tickets. We want tickets. Now we have to wait until our tickets are done. Bring on the tickets, guys. Let's go. Call it your bluff right now. Give me a break. Give us more ammunition. Give us more ammunition if that's what you want to do. You might want to contact McDonald and double check. Sorry guys, I missed the carols. What do you think it means, sir?
This is the evidence, so we'll watch the full thing. Might jog my memory too.
Who are dear to us and be near to us. Oh, faceless years won't let you get together. Even a small crowd.
It's complicated. Yeah.
Citations. I said, bring it on. Bring it on. Bring on the citations. Let's go. We're ready. Get citations. No, we want the citations because they are illegal. We need the citations. That's the whole point. They're in a catch-22. They are in a catch-22 position. You give us what we want. You give us those tickets. We want tickets. That's what we came here for. I'll just do another fundraiser and get the money for it. I don't think they're going to have to be paid anyways. I don't think they're going to have to be paid. So what's going on, guys? Are we getting our tickets or what? Calling your bluff.
your bluff.
I mean, that's disorderly conduct, right? Like screaming like that. Would you say that? I mean, I'm trying to let enough of it play.
I think the noise violation's pretty easy here.
Yeah, I mean, he's getting louder and louder and becoming more and more aggressive.
Right. I mean, that's ultimately the point, is that we want to irritate people beyond that. And I think they can easily say, hey, if you pass so many decibels in a residential neighborhood after a certain time, easy peasy. When you say, oh, we're going to limit picketing where a governor lives, that's rough. But again, it's like you pointed out, it's not the cops. He didn't write the ordinance. His job is to enforce the ordinance.
Yeah.
If you want to pitch the ordinance, some court needs to do that, not him.
And he could actually be the one that sparks that, but then again, he's a sovereign citizen, so he'll never do anything.
But all this is like, this was played up on purpose. They're videoing and saying, oh, we're going to sing Christmas carols. Aren't we cute? Well, they were getting nastier earlier, and we'll see that in your video tomorrow.
Yeah, well, okay. So the video tomorrow,
which I don't have.
No. No, I sent you the video of that he's watching right now. You have that video. I sent that one to you. I did some work and I finally found the video of the guy getting tased like 30 seconds ago. Just downloaded it. You want me to just send you a link to the YouTube of the guy getting tased?
Yeah, well, my audience is very highbrow, and we're not interested in tasings. In fact, I think right now in the chat, if you could tell me if you are above tasings, I want you to hit number 2. If you would actually like to see that tasing, I want you to hit 1.
I have to see this because I at this point I'm not sure I'd want to believe you, because I believe we share the same audience, and my audience absolutely loves the tasers. Yeah, they love the taser.
Everybody here wants a tase in the worst possible way.
Okay, so here I'm gonna do. You guys better. Hey, Mike, I'm holding you personally accountable for your audience right now. If they don't show up, we're gonna be fighting. There's a fight on the internet. They're my audience too, but they better be there tomorrow, because I'm not gonna make a single penny off that damn video.
Yeah, the crossover is tremendous there.
All right, so now you have
important evidence, because you never once went over and said,
Calling their bluff. So they're like, oh shit.
Stop. You're being too loud, you're under arrest. Correct? You never came over and tried to say, this is too much, you're being crazy, you're loud, you're going to be under arrest.
I believe that was in the first part.
No, when did you say it in the first part? You never said you will be under arrest. You said you're being loud, and it would be nice if you could tone it down a little bit. But when did you say you will be under arrest if you don't stop? In the next video, that's when. In the next video.
Would you let him answer the question?
Okay, so hold on. Is that your question to him?
What?
When did he say that's your question?
Yeah, when did you say you're going to be under arrest the first time? Or to stop doing what you're doing and be under arrest?
Let him answer.
Sorry.
That was in the conversation in the beginning about the ordinance and what you're not allowed to do for the ordinance.
So earlier you're saying that you told me I was going to be arrested. No, I said you can arrest me for being disabled. I'm not a dog.
And so I understand that I've watched the video, I've listened to the first part of the video, and so.
So he's claiming
I understand what.
false things. He's a liar.
Okay.
He's playing false things? The video lies?
Yeah.
What? Okay.
When the cop clearly told him in that video, like, you need to stop. Like, he just kept going back to
his affect and everything's exactly the same. Yeah. I mean, he's a rock solid witness.
All right.
I'm not done. We're not done. Oh no, we're not done yet.
All right.
Thank you, Sheila.
Next question.
So the next question is, when did you become aware of the complainant and the videos?
I The complainant, I don't understand.
The person who calls.
If I can look at my notes for the time received for the call, I mean, that gives me sort of a general idea when.
Did she transport the information over? You didn't have, what I'm getting at is, did you have that evidence when you came on scene? Did you already have the video evidence?
The video evidence of what was going on out there?
From the neighbor who called?
No.
So you didn't see that until after I was arrested, correct?
I've never seen
She didn't
video
even
taken
see
by
the
a neighbor.
video.
Okay, so you haven't
Saw
even seen the video,
you.
wasn't even aware.
Other officers saw you.
And you
That's
never went
all
to talk to the neighbor?
Jeez. He just doesn't get it.
No, it's good times. But we do have an overwhelming vote for tasing here.
Okay, let's take a tase break.
I have spoken to neighbors.
At that call, during that call? You did. So. You are.
Okay, it's his testimony, let him answer.
Please.
In the month of December and January, I have spoken to neighbors on Hemlock Court about the enforcement of the ordinance. I can't say specifically if there was those conversations.
All right, strike the question, never mind. So, how many other people got ticketed that day?
Nobody. Not that.
Why didn't anybody else get ticketed that day?
I didn't see a need since it stopped after you were.
What stopped?
The picketing.
The picketing stopped when?
Soon after you were taken away.
After I was arrested.
Yes.
But you ticketed me before I was arrested, correct?
So back to the question, when did it stop? After you received the summons and after you were arrested, it stopped soon after.
It stopped soon after.
Yes.
And so why was I ticketed to begin with? If you weren't ticketing everybody, why did you say you were going to ticket everybody and then only ticket me?
Seemed to
Discretion. He has that.
accomplish what I was assigned to go do, which was to enforce the ordinance, to keep the peace and quiet in the.
Were you trying to make an example out of me?
No,
And trying to scare the other people and chill their First Amendment rights?
not at all.
No. So, this is just unbelievable. Then, do you have the other video too, where I walk back, the second part, the 6-minute one?
I do not have it.
You do not have that one? The singled out video? May I?
We want our tickets. You guys promised us tickets. Are we getting tickets or not? What?
Let's all
That
watch it
one?
together if we're gonna watch
Yeah.
it.
Do you know this? Do you have that one or not?
No, I said I don't have it.
Okay, that's fine. I have it.
And I object, I've never seen it.
Okay, so he's never seen it, but give me a proper, tell me what the relevance, what you wanna ask
The
this
relevance
officer
is to
about.
impeach this guy's lying and to jog his memory and to show exactly what happened and how he said, you need to stop. I need to stop what? You need to stop. If you don't stop, I'm gonna arrest you. If I don't stop what? And then I was arrested. That's what happened. Okay? He didn't say I needed to stop anything in particular or anything like that. So the relevance is to his orders that he just claimed he said I was supposed to leave and all that. Okay? This is
Okay,
to
so-
impeach him.
Okay, so let me just understand the purpose and the testimony. The testimony I've heard from this officer so far is that he did tell you to stop. You don't deny that he told you to stop because it's on the video, but he didn't say specifically what you needed to stop?
Correct.
Okay, and so, I'm not sure that that's relevant in the sense that he can first ask him that question, right? If he acknowledges, yes, I told you to stop, but I didn't
God,
say
that judge is being so
specifically,
lenient.
and then if not, you can.
You're muted. You're muted.
She really is, and the ultimate is from your video today, and it's at the end of this one too, at the sentencing. Oh, the restraint! I would have rung him up so fast.
Yeah, and that's one of the things we'll talk about it during the sentencing part, because that's one of the questions I wanted to ask was, do courts sometimes just think to themselves, just get this guy out of here? And
Yeah,
even if he's
absolutely.
acting up, just to like, look, we're going to push through his belligerency and we're going to get to the end of this trial so we can just get you out of here and get the next person in.
That was clearly the thought process. She's not
Okay.
confused. She's a very good judge. She's very smart, but she just had decided she's not going to hold him in contempt.
Yeah. And I'm okay with that, because I think that nobody would disagree with him being held in contempt. I don't think
Right.
anybody would disagree with him getting a 48-hour jail sentence over his actions in my video.
Oh,
But
absolutely.
but I also don't think that a lot of people could argue that the judge probably just wanted to get him out, because it wasn't going to end by putting him in a 48-hour hold. He's going to come out and get 48 hours more. Just by his actions, and it would never result.
Depends on the jurisdiction. I'd rung him up for 30 days.
Yeah, even that. I'm saying minimum 48 hours based on his
absolutely.
actions in my video.
Show me that portion of the video if you get to it.
So, what exactly was your lawful order to me before I was arrested?
You needed to stop. You needed to stop protesting, or picketing, excuse me.
You said you need to stop picketing?
I don't remember.
Well, you need to remember.
Okay, so, yeah.
Sorry. Well, I'm just trying to, let's, I mean, this is ridiculous. Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Okay, so the question is, what did he tell you to stop for? And let me hear his answer. I missed it in that. If you recall.
He didn't finish, sorry. I interrupted.
If I can, the question you're asking is,
What was the lawful order that you gave to me prior to arresting me?
well, to stop raising your voice, to...
You said stop raising your voice? Sorry. I had head trauma. I forget. I'm sorry. I'm apologizing.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
so when I ask you to stop, though, just.
I know, I forget.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
This is what it is.
So you should just stop protesting, and certainly the picketing, the town, you need to comply with the town ordinance. So you were told you needed to comply with the town ordinance. You're clearly aware of the town ordinance. So I didn't go through that again with you, the town ordinance. So does that answer your question as far as?
Well, yeah, you said that you just said that you told me I needed to stop picketing and to comply with the town ordinance, which is not true, which is why we need to watch this.
Okay, and so I'm gonna first, before I make any ruling on that, I know your objection to seeing it. Are you gonna testify in this case?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're gonna testify, I wanna first hear your testimony of what you wanna tell me as opposed to that, because it goes to the credibility and the weight that I give everything, as opposed to trying to impeach him on what he said. First, you can tell me what you say he said, and then we can take up whether or not the
Now-
video comes in and I give it the weight I think it deserves. Don't know if we need to watch the whole.
Yes.
Quickly, I want to ask a legal question here.
Okay.
Because from my understanding is that you don't pull surprise evidence out in trial. You're
No, but
supposed
he's trying to impeach. So he's saying, I've got something that contradicts what you just testified to.
That's what I wanted to ask. Is this a situation in which the evidence that he is about to present is not necessarily evidence that he would have needed to give to the prosecution ahead of time?
Right. I mean, if you just have something, well, you know, with all that, it's really the Brady rule and all that stuff. The prosecution has a big duty to turn over to the defendant, but not the other way around.
Okay, so it's not the other way around. Okay, good. I didn't
It's
know
not
that.
the other way around. It's very heavily slanted. The state has the burden. The state has the burden and has to do a hell of a lot more.
Okay,
Having said that, they've got the resources of the state behind them.
correct.
So it does sort of equal out in that sense.
I think that's fair. I think that's fair.
But if he's up there testifying and you've got a video to the contrary, and you can say, no, this isn't true, and I've got a video of him, you can impeach with that. The judge also says, I'll tell you what, why don't we do this? You bring it up in your testimony, and then we'll watch the video, which is exactly what occurs. And that's a very reasonable ruling from the judge.
Right, because like she said, she has to put weight and everything upon the testimony and the evidence that's about to be presented.
Right, and it's not even really quite proper for impeachment. It's something you want to bring into your case, but it's not so much impeachment because the guy doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah.
So she handles it really well. But no, you absolutely can hammer somebody with something if they brought it up on testimony, you know, right there.
And that goes with the prosecution as well, correct? Like the prosecution doesn't even have to give advance notice of
well,
evidence,
the prosecution, if they have something, they have to turn it over. Specifically, they have to turn it over if it's exculpatory, if it helps the defendant. But no, they could hit him with something that hurts the defendant that they may have had. There'd be a fight. That gets very fact specific.
What about on a witness like this? Like if this was a defense witness, let's say, and the prosecution had evidence on hand that that impeached the witness, could they present that immediately?
Yeah, they could probably hammer him with it.
Okay. Yeah, that's the only question. That's the question I had about this part.
Because their real duty is to turn over exculpatory. So if they have, for instance, a witness saying, "I don't think it was him," they have to turn that over.
Right.
But if you've got evidence that a collateral witness is full of shit, you can just wait until they get up there and start spouting, and then hammer them with it.
Okay.
Whole thing specific.
It's only 6 minutes.
Okay, so that was only 6.
Yes, it's very brief.
All right.
And most honestly, there's probably 2 or 3 minutes after I was arrested. I'm arrested pretty quickly.
So let's finish his testimony right now, and then we'll go from there.
So, do you recall when I came to the town hall asking for clarity on the town ordinance? And you came out and gave me clarity?
I don't know, Jack, is this before or after January 31st?
Yeah, just
What's
give them
the
a time
so
frame
this?
of when you're asking the
So
question.
what's January 31st? Is that that was when I was arrested?
Yeah.
All right. So this was after the fact.
I might have had
When I went to Newfields Town Hall, I hit the buzzer outside and I said, I need some clarity from somebody to explain how I'm not going to get arrested or ticketed. I need to understand this town ordinance because to me it's void for vagueness.
I'm sorry.
100%, but we'll get into that later. What are the elements and all that? Do you recall talking to me?
So just, that's the question, do you
recall coming out and giving me clarification on this town ordinance?
Guy is
I
everywhere.
object, it was after this date, so it's irrelevant.
Okay, and I don't think it's relevant to this date, this time, these allegations.
All right, it'll be supplementary to my legal argument.
And that's exactly
Gotcha.
what it's for.
Awesome. All
Okay.
right.
Any other questions as to this date before we move on? Because we have one more to get through.
What did I get arrested for that day? Exactly.
Disorderly conduct.
What was the disorderly conduct?
Continuing the conduct that you were told to stop previously.
The conduct is very general. What was the conduct?
Raising your
That right there is a great argument, even by this guy who I can't stand.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's the truth.
voice
Raising your voice.
and violating the town ordinance.
When did you say?
See, if I was him, I would say,
continue to raise your
what
voice, you will be
specifically did I
arrested.
do to violate the ordinance? Because he said he just said, the cop said, raising your voice and violating the ordinance. So
Yeah.
he keeps crutching on just throwing the blanket over, oh, you're violating the ordinance. How? By
Oh,
violating the
I
ordinance.
get it. Like I said, I want to see him tased 13 times. I can't stand him. But as a matter of law, as a matter of First Amendment principles and that sort of thing, this thing is not well defined.
Yeah.
I like I said, the real simple things like, noise ordinance. You're in a residential area and you're over so many decibels. Those are the sorts of restrictions you can do. They're very objective. But he's hitting him with this ordinance violation, which I totally get. The cop is enforcing the law. Whether the ordinance is completely unconstitutional or not is not his business. He's there to enforce the ordinance. That's how it is.
Okay, so that question's asked and answered. You've asked him that, he's answered that, so move on.
So yeah, we can move on to whoever.
Okay, are you done with questions of this officer?
Yes.
Okay, redirect? Okay,
Yeah.
all right, thank you,
Let's
sir.
break
You can
into
step
an
down
actual
and you be
thing.
excused.
That makes sense.
If
A
he
legitimate argument.
wants to.
I don't know. Are we gonna need
Well,
him possibly?
That's your call, sir. If you think they're gonna call him in your case, or otherwise, I excuse the witnesses if you don't think you're gonna call him.
I don't know if we're gonna watch that video or what.
Okay,
So I'd
let's
like
have
to keep him
if you
around.
can, Officer Schwartz, if you could just remain just in case if you're able. Thank you.
Absolutely.
All right, your next witness, counsel.
That would be if the state regress
Okay.
for this one.
Okay, for this one.
For this
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Move
this
on to the next matter, the December 28th.
You mean, yeah, if you want to.
Yeah, well, we have three, right?
Two.
We have the January 31st ordinance, the December 28th ordinance, and the disorderly.
Disorderly and the
The
Those
31st
those are the
together.
same.
We're together.
Yep.
Those are this.
Yep, and then,
28.
yeah.
Okay.
So we're gonna start that one now?
Sure.
Okay.
You want to?
Yes, I do. Well, what's my option?
Right. Yeah.
Do I get it? Is there another option?
No.
That's
the case. I think that's fine, and that one.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh,
You're
should
right.
we do that?
Okay, yeah, I guess we should. My apologies. Do you wish to testify in these before we move on with the December 28th one, or would you like to do it all at the end? That's totally up to you.
No, while my head's in this, I would like to testify to the best of my ability.
Okay. So the state is resting then with respect to the disorderly and the... Yep, and the January 31st ordinance, and that is their case. Now, this is your case. Do you wish to testify?
Yes, can we get up there?
Jeff, come on up, and I'll just, I don't think there's any other things pending, but you understand, sir, that you're not required to testify. You do have a Fifth Amendment privilege against self-incrimination, but if you do testify, you understand that you're going to be subject to cross-examination.
Oh, for sure.
All right, let's have you
Who wants to go there?
raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm that any testimony or information you provide in this matter is true under the pains and penalties.
Yes, I do.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, can you just state your name for me again?
My name is Frank Negus Staples. My friends call me Footloose.
Okay. All right,
Wow.
with that, don't have an
I haven't
attorney
seen
to
this
ask
part
you
yet. So
questions.
wow.
You haven't seen this part?
I haven't got this far into it. No. This is
I don't know. I just
already
like-
wow.
Footloose is like a bad 80s movie with Kevin Bacon.
My friends call me Footloose.
Heard the testimony in your process.
Too good. You can't make it up.
So if you want to either go in order, I'll leave it to you if you want to tell me about, if you want to start with the January 31st ordinance. We first heard about that and testify about that, or I'll let you take it in the order that you want to, but tell me what you'd like to tell me in response to the testimony and evidence that's been presented, please.
Sure. So I had been ticketed with the other other 8 people, the 9 people that all got tickets on the first thing, which we're about to get into. And we didn't even have signs or anything. That was a candlelight vigil. Okay, we'll get into that. But
this is another
we
case
kept
we're
going
talking
back.
about right here. Okay. He's
What's that?
talking about right now, he's talking about a completely different case. This is not has nothing to do with the picketing outside of the governor's house. This is where him and 8 other people got arrested for disorderly conduct at a at like a city council meeting. because they were
Okay.
disrupting the city council meeting. So he's already beginning talking about something completely different that's leading up to this.
They had 3. I don't know if they've moved on to that.
Well, no, the breach of bail was for the ticket that he got that ticket on for, or the breach of bail was for the ticket from that date. So that's why they dropped the breach of bail for the ticket, because he received 2 disorderly conduct tickets. One of them was the breach of bail for the first one, and then I'm just making sure that everybody knows what he's talking about right now, since we're not covering that case. He got arrested with 8 other people, and they call themselves the New Hampshire 9.
Oh, Lord.
To the cul-de-sac out in front of the governor's house after the fact, after those original tickets, and picketing in that area and trying to get tickets to challenge this ordinance, just like we saw in the video. That was the whole intention. So we went back multiple times until finally, this time, they threatened us with tickets. They said, we're going to give you tickets, right? You saw the officer say, we're going to give everybody tickets. But what did they do? They gave me a ticket, and me only, to try to make an example, right? And they didn't want to have to adjudicate all these bogus tickets, which is why we were there. So I went up to the Newfields officer when he came on scene, because he, instead of going to the calling party, went to all the state troopers that were there, the 10 or 20 state troopers that were outside. So the neighbor must have felt so unsafe with all those troopers out there standing guard. So dangerous with all these troopers standing guard, right? So Officer Schwartz, instead of going to the calling party, goes and talks to all the troopers. Starts talking to them, they're on the phone. So I'm like, what is going on? I go over and say, hey, what's going on?
What's going on?
Oh, we're here, you know, blah, 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 whatever, we saw the video. And you said we're all gonna get tickets. But then you didn't give us all tickets, did you? You singled me out.
Okay, so you can't ask him any other questions?
No, I'm not asking him. I'm telling people what it is. That's the testimony. That's rhetorical. I wasn't expecting that. And so, and then I went and joined in with the Christmas carols, the COVID carols, right, which were excellent. They had already started. I did not order them to be done as was characterized. I joined in, and then we were waiting for these tickets. Like, where are these tickets? We want to get out of here. It's cold out here. This is what we were here for. We want the tickets, and we want to go. And so he's still over there talking to the state troopers. Still hasn't reached out to the calling party. Never did. And so I went back over there with Russin, and I said, hey, what's going on? Where's these tickets? And then he hands me the ticket. He says, oh, I have one for you. I said, just for me? He says, yeah, here. I said, oh, all right. And then there was a plainclothes trooper next to him wearing a mask and no identifying stuff. So he's smiling too. You can see smiling behind his mask. So I said, what are you? Who are you? Identify yourself. Who are you? Will you identify yourself? He refused. He just smiled at me through his mask. And then Officer Schwartz said, if you don't stop, I'm going to have you arrested. And I said, if I don't stop what? He said, if you don't stop, I'm going to have you arrested. I said, if I don't stop what, sir? If you don't stop, it might have been one more of those. And,
yeah, okay, we don't care the number. We heard it the first time.
He said, you're under arrest. I said, I'm under arrest. For what? For disorderly conduct. Never once asked me to leave. Never said I was trespassed, that I had to leave. So it was a complete setup. He went down there with an assignment. He knew what he was going to do, and that was going to be to single me out for a ticket and then arrest me immediately afterwards under the guise of, oh, I told him to leave. But too bad it was all on record, and you never told me to leave, bud. And you can't remember nothing. Can't remember nothing.
Direct your testimony to me, please.
I'm saying this guy's up here and he can't remember nothing.
Okay? I've heard you say that a
You
couple
know?
times.
Like, what is really going on here? He can remember anything that he wants to know, but he can't remember anything that's recorded on video.
Mr. Staples, I'm going to listen to your testimony, but I only need to hear it once. I have good ears, I'm taking notes. So, in the interest of time, you've told me that several times. Move on to the next thing. I understand your position, and I've heard.
So yeah, I was singled out for a ticket, and
I mean, that's just the classic dumb things that they do. I was singled out for a ticket. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, again, they have discretion, and they could say, all right, I think this is the most annoying guy. If we ticket him, that should knock it out. There's nothing wrong with that concept.
And it worked.
Yeah, and it worked.
arrest.
Like, this guy's bitching about
Never once
having
was I
one
given a
ticket
lawful-
instead of 13 or 14 tickets for all the people that were there, and he's
Right,
complaining.
right. Yeah, well, I have decided that they now have a requirement to ticket everybody.
Yeah.
No, they don't.
Don't hang out
It
with
probably-
that guy. You know?
It probably would have been good, but they don't need to.
Yeah.
Order to leave the premises. That's all in the video. And, you know, it is what it is. He's a liar, and I'm done with my testimony.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Or do you want to ask me anything?
Cross-exam?
Thanks. So, Officer Schwartz did tell you you needed.
I like how he does that. The judge is like, whoa, and he's like, do you want to ask me anything? As if he has a choice.
Yeah.
No, you just testified. They get to cross you. That's how it is.
Keep your voice down, correct?
He didn't tell me I needed to do anything, and he did not give me a lawful order that I would be arrested if I did not keep my voice down. No, he did not.
I didn't ask you whether he gave you.
I answered you.
At the beginning of that tape, he said you needed to keep your voice down.
Is that a lawful order?
Answer the question. Did he or did he not say that?
He didn't say that exactly. He said, could you keep your voice down? It'd be nicer if you could be quiet. So it was more of a conversational thing. He never gave a lawful order. Nice try.
When did you guys decide to go there to get your tickets?
When did who guys?
All your protesters on the 31st.
How the hell am I supposed to know
Okay,
that?
all right. Number one, we're not going to use profanity.
Is that profanity?
And that was if you know, please answer.
I mean, I've been posting every Sunday on Facebook for however long, so it's an every week thing. We've been doing it consistently every Sunday at the same time.
To go where?
To go to the cul-de-sac on that street, which is a little park. It's a public park.
What address do you put on your website to go?
71 Hemlock.
That's the address you're targeting.
Do we go on 71 Hemlock? No.
I didn't ask you that. I'm asking you, that's the address you're targeting with your protest, correct?
We're not targeting anything. We're targeting the town ordinance.
Okay.
Okay?
You meet at 71 every time.
No, we don't. We meet at the cul-de-sac.
On your website, you put, come join us.
We don't
at
have a
70
website.
At 71.
I don't have a website.
Hemlock Court.
I don't have a website.
Do you organize the people to show up at 71 Hemlock Court?
No. I organize people to show up at the cul-de-sac. When have we ever stepped foot on his property? Never.
Okay, all right, that's enough.
You knew you wanted to get tickets on the 31st.
Obviously. That's what we were there for. I said that. We said, let's get the tickets. You've seen the video yourself.
You intended to violate the ordinance on purpose.
No. Oh, yeah, that time. What is the violate? If we can, how do you violate something that can't be defined?
And on the 28th of December.
I can't stand this guy, but that was a good argument.
Oh yeah, agreed.
Simple as that.
I can't
You were
stand
also
straight.
there
He is making
to
smart.
target 71 Hemlock Court.
No, we're not targeting any houses. We never went on anybody's property. We're on public property the whole time.
Mr. Staples,
So-
Mr. Staples, I respect the fact that you say you have a head injury, but I'm going to remind you that you are very loud. It is very loud. Can you try to bring it down right now when he's asking?
He's asking me the same question over and over. He's trying to trap me in a question.
I
Like,
don't think it's the
stop.
same question. I won't let him ask.
That's just funny too. Again, very sort of pro se. He's trying to trap me in a question. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what we do
His
in court.
job. Yeah, that's his job.
What are you, 3? Yeah, exactly.
Ask the same question over and over in the interest
What
of
was he
time,
trying
just
to
like
do
I didn't
earlier to the
let you,
police officer
so-
when he was on the stand? Was he not
Yeah,
trying to
absolutely.
trap
You were
him
trying to trap him.
consistently, question after question?
Absolutely. And that's good strategy. And you should have been trying to trap a police officer. Yeah. Duh.
Let's just try to keep
Where do you
it
live?
down.
Where do I live? In this body, right here, right now.
Where do you sleep at night?
In this body, right here, right now.
What's your mailing address?
Look around and find out.
You live in Newfields?
Oh man.
No, I do not live in Newfields. I live in this body, right here, right now.
And why are you so interested in Newfields town ordinance if you don't live in Newfields?
Because Governor Sununu had his minions create a town ordinance in order to target our lawful First Amendment speech. And he had his brother on the board. We got through Freedom of Information Act requests, through inside sources, they got proof that Sununu's administration contacted the town board to get them to start this town ordinance.
Single out an individual residence and target.
Does it say that? Where does it say you can't single out an individual residence?
I think we're getting into the legal argument.
Yeah, we're getting into the legal argument. Nice try.
Why don't you go over to Elm Street on Newfields and protest there?
I have,
Why don't you go to Main Street and protest there?
because the cul-de-sac is nice.
And who lives on the cul-de-sac?
No one.
Nobody lives there?
No, they live in houses around the cul-de-sac.
Who lives at 71 Hemlock Court?
You know who lives there. Governor Sununu lives there.
Okay. Why don't you protest in Manchester where you're...
I do. I protest everywhere. So what are you trying to antagonize me? Why don't you
All
go
right.
protest somewhere?
Mr. Staples,
Huh?
Mr. Staples, I don't want to have to take a break.
Well, what is the relevance to
Okay,
this?
so-
Why don't I protest here? Why don't I protest there?
Okay.
Don't patronize me, guy.
Mr. Staples.
Bring it on. Let's go. What's the
Mr.
next question?
Staples.
What's the next question?
Okay. I want you to answer the questions that we have. Do we need to take a break?
I don't know.
Well, I'm asking you.
I'm amped up.
I know.
I'm not going to have this guy asking me irrelevant questions about
Listen.
why I don't protest in Manchester and this and
Mr.
that.
Staples,
Yeah.
if you are representing yourself, which you are, if you want to lodge an objection, you say that to me and say, Judge, this is irrelevant. Don't
So
you
I
start-
object to the relevance. So I'm sorry, I didn't say I object,
But
but
you
what's the
can't-
relevance? Isn't that an objection in and of itself?
Not until you phrase it, so I know that you're
Whoa, you
asking
can't
me
hold me to the bar standards.
Okay, next question.
Next question.
On December 28th, was your intention to violate the ordinance then, Joe?
December 28th?
Of 2000?
Which one was that? That
That's
was...
the first one that we hear.
That's the first one. So, no, my intention was not to violate the town ordinance. That's the whole reason why we picked a candlelight vigil, because there are no elements of picketing in a candlelight vigil with no signs and no noise. And on the Zoom call, I specifically said, no signs,
They're getting there.
no noise.
That's why.
We're gonna be there. We're gonna have a quiet,
Frustrated.
peaceful candlelight vigil. We'll stand there, maybe do some prayer, and we're not gonna violate the town ordinance. The whole point is to not violate the town ordinance, but to still challenge it, the legality of it. That's made off a motorboat law.
And your meeting place was 71 Hemlock.
Skeptic, do you know what this motorboat law reference is?
I have no idea.
I mean, the sovereign citizens are into maritime law, and I think it would be sort of an oblique reference to that. But why it shocks me is because that's something I would say mocking them.
Yeah, I'm looking that up right now to see.
So I whatever. If someone can explain that to me, put it in the chat. we need Judge Bryant.
How did he express the motorboat law? Like, how did he invoke the motorboat law in this situation?
He's just said that's motorboat law. And
okay, well then he's probably, I would assume he's talking about maritime law.
Right. So it's full projection though, because that's what something would say to them. You know?
Yeah.
It's odd.
Did we go on 71 Hemlock Court? No, we did not meet at 71 Hemlock Court. Okay? And what's the relevance? Object to the relevance.
I do find that relevant, and it's a fair cross-examination.
Sure, and even if we were targeting the governor's house, he's a public official. The state house was closed, and he was conducting official business from his house. But we never targeted his residence. We didn't throw anything at his residence or anything like that.
Okay, Dummy, if you got to learn how to argue in the alternative. We said we were not targeting his residence, but even if we were targeting,
yeah, the whole time he's said without saying we targeted his residence.
Of course, they targeted the residence. He's the governor, and that's where you get the attention. I don't have a problem with that. Say, look, this ordinance is vague, and you can't infringe my First Amendment right. I'm with you. This nonsense, no.
Yeah, and he's left breadcrumbs throughout the entire time to say that everything you're telling me I did wrong, I actually did wrong. Like when they say, I didn't tell people to go to his house, but you had it on his website. You didn't say, like you could have easily said, just meet at the center of the cul-de-sac at the intersection of these two streets. Even though you would have been knowingly going to that guy's house still, at least you wouldn't have had his fucking address on your fucking website.
There's so many easy ways to just sort of skirt this and then win.
Yeah, but he left the break.
Okay, so you can call targeting his residence all you want. We're targeting all the other residences just as much as his residence because we're targeting the town ordinance.
And you only target it at Hemlock Court.
How do we only target it at Hemlock Court?
Okay, so that's it. Any other questions?
Because you stood in front of the damn residence and made an ass of yourself for a long period of time, and it's witnessed, and we have video of it. I don't know why you think you're clever.
There's no evidence of that.
No, I'm all set.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So why don't you go ahead and step down, and then this is still your case in the ordinance, the January 31st and the disorderly. So is there anything further before we move on to the December 28th date that you want to?
Just that video.
Okay.
That 6-minute video, yeah.
Okay. Anything other than that, we're good? So, counsel, in terms of the 6-minute video, do you want me to, I understand you object because you haven't seen it. I am going to allow it in, whether we all watch it right now, and I'll give it the weight I think it deserves, or it comes separately. I think my preference is that we just watch it, so we have it. And if you want to see it first, I'm happy to give you that opportunity, and we'll take a brief recess. You look at it, and then I'll look at it.
Yeah, that'd be good.
You want to look at it first?
Well, no, we can all do it.
Are you sure? Okay, all right. So why don't you, is it only on your phone? Or does?
He can pull it, if he wants to go to my YouTube channel, he can pull it up.
There's no Wi-Fi.
There's no internet in the courthouse, so.
I love her. There's no heat and there's no internet, and she doesn't care. She carries on and she apologizes for it, but that's what we're doing, people.
Yeah, I mean, I just still cannot believe the ridiculous. As much, look, like you said it many times, from as many sovereign citizens in court videos that you've watched and I've watched on your channel and I've watched personally, this guy's a notch above the rest. He's clearly making good arguments. He clearly does not have the acumen to perform as a lawyer would, clearly. Right. But he's a notch above your average sovereign citizen.
He's not trying jurisdiction. He's not doing any of that stuff. He's got a statute, an ordinance that's vague, and he's hitting that, and that's correct.
And he still can't bring the evidence with him that exonerates him.
Right.
And you don't have it on your computer or bigger screen for us to be able to see?
No.
So what are we going to do?
If you have it, pull it up, and once you bring it up here, and we'll try to look at it? Or you've seen it, so mainly I need an attorney to approach to be able to see it. Yeah, you can come around, great.
I just want to stop and say thank you all. I can't believe we have over 1,000 right now at this hour. And thank you, Team Skeptic, for coming by and sending me the video.
Oh yeah, I saw it. Thought of you.
Rusty, come on. Okay, so we want our tickets. You guys
Can you
promised
turn
us
it,
tickets.
make it bigger?
No.
Are we getting tickets or not?
You're getting tickets.
Yeah. Rusty, come on. I got Rusty with me this time. Rusty with me. Come on. So these guys, so he wants to talk again. What do you want to do, bro?
I have a son that fell through.
What about everybody else? Just me.
Now, I want you to understand.
So why am I the only one getting ticketed?
Sydney in the house.
I've had the conversation.
Love it.
Oh, okay.
So,
Look at this guy. Who are you? Identify.
I covered
Name? Hold on. No, I can identify people. What's your name? Badge number.
my point.
Identify yourself.
If you don't stop, if you don't stop,
If I don't stop, what? If I don't stop, what, sir? If I don't stop, what? What? That's what I'm asking you.
raising your voice.
If I don't stop raising my voice, okay, so I can't
Didn't
control
he say
this voice.
earlier?
I'm
He
not
said
yelling
you
right.
never
It's my
told me
normal
that.
baseline voice.
Remember? He said you never told me that. You said, would you please, sir, lower your voice? It would be nice if you spoke softer. Clearly, in the video he just played, he says,
Right. And now
lower
he says,
your
"You
voice."
can't stop saying that to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's not good.
So is it this one or is it when I'm yelling? Is what I'm trying to clarify. This normal voice right now is going to get me arrested. This guy is smiling, he loves it, he's eating it up.
Agreed.
Who are you?
Yeah. And that's what I've done.
Can you identify yourself, please? Can you identify yourself?
So, would you, sir,
Think
you
midnight.
hand your phone to somebody because, or put it in your pocket, you're
I'm under arrest for what?
disorderly conduct.
For disorderly conduct.
Oh, Peter,
I'm
thank
under
you.
arrest for disorderly conduct. Yeah, not about. What are you doing? Disorderly conduct. This guy won't identify himself.
I am feeling very insecure right now. That guy does not identify himself. He's a police officer. We have to represent him.
Look at the insanity of this guy holding up his phone because he didn't think ahead better than that to show his evidence.
I know.
Thank you very much.
What I don't want to do is get into an argument with somebody who's going to find out his guts and just let it come down. The last thing we want is somebody to get arrested. I think that's getting lost in
You know what? I gotta be honest with you. It looked like you were really enjoying the fact that he was gonna be arrested. And it might be because of the mask, but it looked like you were smiling and grinning underneath it. I'm gonna tell you exactly what it looked like.
That's pretty much.
Okay?
All right, thank you.
Very different
All right, so the
look.
record will
Now-
reflect the court has reviewed the video, 6-minute video is requested by the defendant in this matter, and that the prosecutor has indicated that he did not object to the
Yeah,
court
now-
considering it overall.
For this
evidence.
one,
All right, so let's move on
That
to the
was
last.
where my video went to. Was yeah.
Hi,
Okay, I didn't realize.
How are you?
Good.
Good.
Let's
So
watch
I'm
that.
covering for Attorney DeCroce today. So you're scheduled for a sentencing hearing today on the disorderly conduct.
Yep, this is where your video started today.
I did not know this was on the end of it. I'm glad I sent it to you because I didn't realize the whole thing was there. Good. We can watch the
Yeah.
whole thing together.
Yeah, believe it or not, it was Sunday morning. It took 2 hours to chunk this up, and it doesn't look like it because I know it's long, but I actually cut out a lot. But it's still, it's the whole hearing.
And then you were scheduled for a trial on the breach of bail charge, right? Is that what you have as well? Okay, so what we're gonna do today is we're just gonna go forward with the sentencing hearing. I'm not gonna go forward on the breach of bail. You were convicted on the disorderly conduct. I don't see a reason to pile additional charges onto you. So you'll be sentenced on the disorderly conduct and then we'll be done today, okay?
So you're dropping the breach of bail?
I am, yep, okay. And I spoke with the trooper about it and he's fine with that,
Good idea.
okay?
Thank you so
All
much.
right, sound good?
Yeah, no problem.
All right,
All set?
yep.
Saves us a
pretty dead thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's no way. I got the law right here, right? So I didn't create a danger, obviously, which is why this has been dropped, and I didn't commit a felony. Okay,
You weren't charged with a felony either.
being persecuted.
Yeah, and they didn't
for
drop it. This is a sin.
exercising my First Amendment rights.
Right, how come you're
Brace yourselves for this, people, because it's on now.
getting angry? Didn't you and I just didn't we just have
Because I'm here today for nothing. That's why I'm getting angry.
You're here for a sentencing hearing.
Yeah, I know. And I got found guilty of disorderly conduct for less than what I'm doing right now.
Okay.
For being loud. Because I have a loud voice. So I got found guilty of disorderly conduct for having a disability because I get excited and hyper aggressive.
And you had your day in court.
Oh, and I was found guilty, yeah. I had my day in court, and what was I found guilty of? Why am I not under arrest for disorderly conduct right now?
Sir.
Why am I not under, hey, listen, don't give me no directives, you're just gonna make it worse.
They are.
Yeah, exactly. They are. If they do anything, you're just gonna make it worse.
Unbelievable.
Ridiculous.
Hey, Frank.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Frank, was the breach of bail when they arrested you here? Was that one, or was it a different one?
Judges on the
Okay, what is this? This is his little buddy or something?
Yeah. So this is like he travels around with a little entourage. We'll talk about it in a second because this is actually an interesting group. They're pushing for New Hampshire to secede from the United States. And actually recently there were 13 state delegates that voted to give the people the right to vote to leave the United States, the citizens of New Hampshire, which of course is unenforceable because of federal law. But at the same time, this guy is part of this larger group.
Okay, so he's the one that, yeah, because he throws a few, not a lot, but a few comments in here.
Yes.
We'll wrap this up and be on your way.
That was the one, thank you. That was the breach of bail for the New Hampshire 9 arrest. For where someone was arrested for saying amen. And I was arrested for, we don't know yet, making a loud noise, which is all on video, and I didn't make one fucking peep.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Not one fucking peep.
Yeah, well, we would know if you had.
You're in a courthouse.
I don't care. It's not illegal to swear. Okay?
If you
I don't need,
disturb
listen,
other
have me
people-
arrested. Do something. Do something.
I don't want to.
Do something. Because you can't.
I'm trying to
Don't
work
give
with
me directives and tell me what to do or what to say or anything.
Frank, come on, Frank.
Come on, Frank.
I'm trying to, but these people, they all want to take their time. Oh, hey. Oh, just calm down. We're going to be cool. No, this is absolute bullshit why I'm here today. And everybody knows it, and that's why you dropped those charges.
I told you why.
So I get it. You're cool. You dropped the charges. I appreciate that. It's nothing personal against you.
Then be
This
cool
is
with me
business.
like I'm being cool.
I am being as cool as I can be. Okay?
Come on, Frank.
You want to get this done?
Oh, I'm ready. Let's do this thing. I've been here. Let's go.
He's so angry. It's so funny.
Oh yeah, he's salty.
Hey, Mike, stop the video real quick. Let's
The
address
priest
what's on
will
the
enter.
screen because that's a good question, and I've recently learned about it. So every court is a little different. So you have courts that will allow anybody to record. You have courts that will allow you to record with permission, and you have courts that will absolutely restrict you from anybody from recording. And it's really up to the discretion of the court as long as they're not violating a state amendment or a federal amendment by doing so. But I believe there's witness protection, a lot of witness bullying and protection that arose in the 70s, 60s or 70s, I think, that led to amendments that allowed the courts to have discretion on which cases would be able to be filmed by the public and not. Is that correct?
That's correct. It's definitely going towards more openness over time. With sort of Florida Sunshine Law sort of led the way. Nevada's out there right now with our Nevada judges and Alex and all that. Michigan's putting everything on YouTube. You're going to have limitations on juvenile stuff no matter what, and should.
Yeah,
Absolutely
should. I agree. I like the fact that they let him record this. They
But
should not.
everything else is trending towards you got to show it. That's just the way it is. But yeah, no, your assessment's correct.
All right, honorable court is now in session.
All right, good morning, everyone. Thank you. Please be seated. All right. And this is State versus Frank Staples, docket number 435-2021 CR 240, and dockets number 435-2021 CR 1692. Attorney Iworski does appear on behalf of the Newfields Police Department. She's filling in this morning for Attorney DeCroce. Mr. Staples does appear. He is self-represented. We are scheduled this morning for a sentencing hearing in the 2021 CR 240 on the Class B disorderly, and then additionally the matter is scheduled for trial in the breach of bail charge. Are we ready to proceed?
Judge, we're going to go forward on the sentencing order. As I told Mr. Staples, the state police are here. I had an opportunity to speak with them. Although we are ready for trial, I think in the interest of fairness and equity, he's been convicted of the underlying disorderly conduct charge, so we're going to use prosecutorial discretion.
How is the underlying when the breach of bail took place afterwards?
I'm going to not prosecute the breach of bail charge, and we're just going to go forward on the sentencing hearing with the disorderly conduct.
All right, very good.
Our favorite prosecutor, Deborah Davis, in the house.
All right, thank you. All right, so with that then, if we're ready, we'll proceed with the sentencing and the state's recommendations. Mr. Staples, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hear from the state first, what they're recommending relative to the disorderly conduct, which was a Class B misdemeanor in that matter. And then after I hear from them, I'm certainly going to hear from you as to any recommendations or any position you take as to.
I need a Fez hat.
Okay, so with that, thank you, Attorney Jaworski.
Judge, the state's going to ask for a $1,000 fine, $500 of that to be suspended for 2 years of good behavior. Your Honor heard the facts and circumstances of this case. This is an individual who has racked up similar charges to this.
Thank you,
Recently,
That get dropped and dropped and dropped.
All right.
he has
Don't
a
interrupt him.
prior conviction for bail jumping in 2013, February 11th of 2013. It looks like he had 1 to 7 years for a sentence with counseling, mental health treatment. He had a possession of prescription drugs also in 2013 where he was convicted. He had multiple counts. He received a 12 months time served sentence in that particular matter. He had a possession of a controlled drug with intent to sell conviction in, looks like 2004 out of Hillsborough.
When is my sentence over? When is the crime done?
Mr. Staples, please, I'm going to hear from you also.
Yeah.
But she gets to recount what she
Fine.
wants.
She
So
can do whatever she wants.
thank you.
Another possession of controlled drug with a 9-month sentence.
Yes, thank you, Jagoff.
Shoplifting conviction in 97.
I was 17! A juvenile!
Mr. Staples.
So she's bringing up my juvenile record then?
Yes.
Juvenile.
I mean, come on!
Yes, exactly.
What's really going on here?
Staples.
Is she
do I
showing
need
a
to
pattern
take
of
break?
behavior?
Let's just get through.
Let's get through it then!
Telling me
Started
what
at
she
least
wants
when
to
you were
recommend and about your
And
record.
why? Because of all these past crimes all the way back to when I was 17?
All right.
Get the fuck out of
Stop.
here.
And please with the language.
Him right there. Come on, man.
Judge, he has a robbery conviction in 97 out of Hillsborough South with a 12-month suspended sentence. That's the first half of his criminal record. He does have an additional 6 pages, but I won't go through every detail with the court. But that's the reason why I am asking for a little bit of an enhancement.
By the way, I don't know if y'all caught it, but she dismissed a charge form coming in. She was completely nice and professional.
Yeah, and I want to speak because I kind of picked this up, and I want you to kind of tell me if I got this right.
Okay.
So right now she's presenting to the judge his priors, right? She's only going
Right.
through half of them. She says, "Hey, look, this is only half. There's another 6 pages. I'm not going to bore you with all 6, but this is why, number one, we're going to ask for an enhancement." So she's asking for a higher fine, which is a fine of $1,000. That's her duty as a prosecutor. The second thing she's doing is showing compassion by giving him half of it as suspended for 2 years, given good behavior. So she's doing her job as a prosecutor and turning around and facing this belligerent asshole and turning around and showing him compassion on the other hand. And I want to commend everybody. I thought they did a wonderful job. I know that there's going to be people that disagree with me and argue that he should have went to jail for contempt. He should have been charged with contempt.
I would have rung him up. I think the approach they took was good and within their discretion.
Yes. But I think it was just
I would have rung him up.
And I wouldn't have blamed you for it. I would have said,
and that's
Deborah Davis is out there. What would she have done? Would she have charged this guy with contempt, or is he getting away with this?
Yeah.
It's fine, although I am asking that half of it be suspended for 2 years good behavior. Also, part of that good behavior is that...
Not paying shit. Believe that.
Mr. Staples.
Sure we have the address. It would not
Deborah Davis would have rung him up too. I'm just saying.
be allowed to respond to that same address with a disorderly conduct.
Okay, Mr. Staples, you've heard the recommendation of a $1,000 fine with 500 of it suspended. Do you wish to be heard on what you're asking the court to impose within the limits of the maximum amount?
Yeah.
$1,200 fine.
$0 because I didn't do anything to cause.
There's Deborah Davis's Cobb's analysis. Okay, that's a little Michigan specific, but still, it's funny.
Any sort of pecuniary loss or any damage or anything like that. And I also am asking you to reconsider your finding of guilty because I will be appealing this. I'll put you on notice, and I do want to know exactly what did I do to commit disorderly conduct, because it was nothing even like what I've been here today in this courtroom. Okay? I didn't do anything that was disorderly. I asked why I was being threatened to be arrested. The man never asked me to leave the area. You've seen the video. He lied in his testimony. So I want to know why I was found guilty to begin with. What? You need to articulate yourself.
Do you wish to be heard on the sentence? We've had your opportunity.
$0. No penalty whatsoever.
Okay, thank you. And I've heard your testimony.
Okay, he's yelling and he's out of control, but I actually do like that he's responsive to her question. Do you wish to be heard on the sentence? $0. Okay, you're not getting that.
Yeah.
But it's an answer to the question.
If you don't ask for it, you'll never get it. So might as well ask for 0.
Absolutely. Which that right there, as low a threshold as that is, takes him above most soft sits.
Yeah. But
he
still
rationally to a question.
But still levels and levels and levels below a 9-year-old. You know,
yes,
a notch above a notch above the Fez. Grade levels below a 9-year-old. Okay.
Yeah. Perfect. That's the perfect. That's where he's at.
Only listened for several hours at the trial, and I've issued that, and certainly you do have the right to appeal, and I will expect you to do that. So with that, I will adopt the state's recommendation and will impose a fine of $1,000. $500 of that will be suspended for a period of 2 years for your good behavior.
Put me in jail now then, $50 a day. Let's go.
Yes, put him in jail now. Fantastic. Everybody wants it, including him.
So that we don't have to stop it again. I want to ask a question about this sentence. Is the court under obligation to give him an opportunity to pay the fine? Like they've already imposed the fine. So now he's
absolutely.
saying, so would it be a violation of his rights if he goes, if I put me in jail, then I'm not paying it. And she goes, okay, put him in jail and reverse the fine.
Yes, because the offense that he's been convicted of does not is not a jailable offense.
So the court is under obligation to at least give him the opportunity to pay the fine.
Absolutely. They can't jail him for that. They can jail him for contempt all day long, and nobody would question it.
And I said that in my video. I was like, if a lawyer knows the answer to this, leave it in the question. But that was my question. Is I felt that the if looking at it from a judicial point of view, a fine is a less harsh payment than jail. So the court would be under obligation to give him an opportunity to have the less harsh payment before sentencing him to the harsher payment of jail.
Absolutely. Okay. They would have to deal with his ability to pay and all that business.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure.
So if they gave him like reasonable time and he didn't, then they could say, okay, well, you're either in contempt or failure to pay. We're going to jail you for it. But like at this point, we've got an ordinance violation with a max penalty of $1,000, which he got.
Yeah.
That's it.
I believe she said the max was 1,200, but they only asked for 1,000, so it was still enhanced. It was still upper.
Yeah, right, but okay, they're near max, but like there is nothing. It's not a misdemeanor. A misdemeanor, you say, okay, we can send you to county jail. He has certainly earned county jail time in terms of contempt.
Yeah,
and that's well within the judge's discretion. But like we discussed earlier, this judge has just decided, I simply am not putting this man in jail.
Yeah, get him out of the courtroom. Get on to the next case.
And that's not what I would have done, but I think it's a fair approach. I would have rung him up. I would have said, nope, there's no way you come into my court and act like that. You're going. The end.
Yeah. He was belligerent. He was beyond belligerent. He was way worse in the courtroom than he was in the arrest video, for sure.
And yell. I mean, honestly, just the man bun. That would be enough for me.
He's rocking a Fu Manson. He's got the Fu Manchu in the back and the Manson in the front.
Oh yeah.
Because I ain't paying shit.
It's 150 now.
So
150, whatever. We do $10 a day. Let's do it.
don't sell yourself short. Are you able to pay the $500 fine? I'm sorry, yeah, $500.
I ain't paying no $500 fine.
Right.
You gotta be kidding me.
So you know there's an additional time payment fee of $25 that gets added.
Don't care. I ain't paying none of it.
Okay.
Ever.
And so if I put you down that it'll be paid in full within 30 days, in addition to...
Say whatever you want to say, okay? Ain't gonna happen.
We'll be in recess. Thank you. Good luck to you, Mr. Staples.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Look at this. He can do it.
Bunch of
He can do it,
bullshit.
Mike. He can be nice.
Probably have a bad day.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Yeah.
Amazing. You told her you weren't going to pay, and she's like, well, let's put you on a time payment.
We'll put you on a time. Put me in jail now.
They don't want to put you in jail.
Let's go. Put me in jail now.
I would have said gladly. Not a problem. Not even if it was just that, I would have probably done the 48 hours we were discussing. But the screaming and dropping the F-bombs, I would have rung him up for 30, given him a chance to cure it. If he didn't, I would have stuck with 30.
I've seen that a lot of times watching court TV where the judge puts them in jail for 30 and they're typically out in 24 hours. When they've had a chance to calm down and come back to the judge and apologize to the court.
You want to come back here with your tail between your legs the next day. If I happen, the next time I have a call, whatever that is, 24, 48, 72 hours away, fine.
Yeah.
You want to come in here and say, I was a jackass. I didn't mean it. I'm sorry. I respect the court. Okay, you can go. That makes sense to me.
5 years of solitary confinement, fucking fine, $500 fucking fine, get the fuck out of here.
I love how they brought
Unbelievable, you bring up all that fucking record too. I changed my life.
She brought
I
half
have
of that
business where I help.
So I imagine your video from earlier is not monetized.
No, it got monetized.
It did?
Yes, sir. Not originally. I had to get manual review.
I mean, it doesn't really matter, but we'll see if this happens. I just can't imagine. There's just a lot of F-bombs here.
Yeah.
People reintegrate from prison and from rehab and from homelessness. When are my past crimes done with? When do I lay it down? Ever?
You already know the answer to that, Frank.
Never.
Never.
Right?
Let's go. Come on.
We feel it's right around. Bunch of bullshit.
Forget it.
Hope you feel real good about yourself.
I don't think I've ever heard anybody paying fines, any activists. It's funny, they think they get us and they don't.
Let's do it. I love this game. We can play this all goddamn day.
They just want to bring him back in for another hearing.
Yeah.
That's what they want.
Yeah.
Waste his time.
Thank you, Cam.
So yeah, next Friday we'll be back with the whole nine.
The whole nine.
With the whole nine.
The whole nine.
Probably freaking, who knows? have this courtroom packed.
He's talking about his co-defendants in the other case.
Oh, okay.
The whole 9 is like the New Hampshire 9. He's bringing them all back for the next time.
Yeah, right. I get it. It's a double reference because the whole 9 is an expression in and of itself. But okay, so they're like there's been a billion of them. Being from Chicago, I know about the Chicago 6 from the '60s, and it's nothing to aspire to. They were a bunch of jagoffs.
You ready to show that Taze video to the? They've been waiting for.
I don't know how to do that from here.
Oh, you can. I can do it. Okay? Hold on. Give me a minute.
Do you know how to do it?
Yes, I can do it from.
I don't
here.
want to step on your Taze video from tomorrow.
No. The chat. Put a 1 in the chat right now if you want to see a Taze video before we get out of here, and put a 1 in the chat if you're also going to show up to Team Skeptics video tomorrow at 4 p.m. Central. That's the way I get them. The same answer works for both. So see, they're going to want to watch it.
Seema's on board. Connie's on board.
Seema's on board. That's what we're talking about.
Brian Martin's on board.
Okay, give me 1 second to get this loaded up for us. All right.
I don't think I've ever done a stream this long, but that was kind of fun, and it was the whole thing. Skeptic sent it to me, and I went through it, and I'm like, okay, it's long. It's longer than I usually do, but you get the whole event.
Yeah. Man, I really when I saw this, the very first thing I thought was Law Talk with Mike. He's going to, because you do the soft sits in court, and I didn't want to cover a long thing. And I know you do a lot more live streams. So I figured this would be a good one to do a live stream on. I wasn't even expecting you to invite me. I was just saying, hey, I found this for you, and I appreciate the invite.
Oh no, it's fun because you gave me lots of background here, and if we get a Taze, I mean, forget it.
Oh, we're getting a Taze, baby. We're getting a Taze. You just got to give me a second to get it set up so I can get the audio so we can all hear it. All right,
you can do it from there, just as a guest,
Mike. I'm a goddamn fucking genius. Okay,
I know. Yeah, there's more background while I looks for it. He was trying to help me with audio and everything, and he does know more. I don't know anything. I've got the bare minimum. I've got a mic and I can play a clip, and that's it. That's my end.
Will you tell me 1 second that you can hear this?
Sure. I can hear it.
Is it loud?
It seems like it's loud enough.
Okay, it was loud to me. I didn't know if it was too loud for you.
What do I need to do for my end?
Just make sure that I'm on the full screen. I'm getting the video up right now. Give me 1 second. But make sure I'm full screen and we're good to go.
If I do this?
Hold on.
Skeptard.
Skeptard, yeah.
I love it.
Oh, yeah, me too. All right, let's see.
Oh, Debbie, I miss you. Everybody, I did invite Debbie, and I get it. I'm not complaining, but she had stuff going on, and this happened later, and we went back and forth. Blah blah blah. We'll do a stream soon. Maybe on Debbie Davis said. Maybe here.
I hope her channel's growing because she is awesome in Judge Middleton's court. So
she is.
All right. Can you see what I'm posting?
Yes.
All right, so you should be able to see.
I see cars in a motel or something like that. This is good.
Oh yeah.
Drop us some Taze, brother. Drop us some Taze. Everybody wants to see it.
Hold on, let me go put on my boner underpants real quick.
I think Shelly says it for us all.
All right, here we go. Oh, hold on. So here's the background. This guy is like one of those people that runs around with the guy we just watched in court. So they're like knuckleheads together. So his buddy gets tased here. So just so we all know. It's not the same guy.
So it's not Man Bun.
It's what now?
It's not Man Bun. It's another of his entourage.
Yes, I don't know if Man Bun's here or not, but they run together.
I got you. Whatever. Even if it's a Man Bun associate, that's satisfying to me.
He's an associate.
Your hands in your pockets? My hands are in my pockets.
Am I being detained? Yeah, you are. For what crime, sir? You need to give me a chance to leave. You haven't given me a chance to leave.
No, you don't. Lawful order first. Lawful order first. Lawful order first.
Been able to leave.
What's your backup, please? So I can talk to him.
Why are you talking to me? I'm talking to you.
Okay.
Do you have some ID with you?
Sir,
I
can you
don't.
back
up from him.
Probably not gonna.
Please?
For what?
I'm trying to talk to him.
What does that have to do? What does your conversation have to do with my? I'm sorry. I don't take orders. Or you're gonna what?
You'll be arrested.
For what?
Listen.
What am I going to be arrested for?
He's trying to have a
What am I going to be
conversation,
arrested for?
and you're standing right
What am I going
behind
to be
him.
arrested for? I can't stand behind somebody?
No.
No? That's illegal?
Listen, man.
You better be very careful what you say, bro.
Why?
Because you're being recorded.
So are you.
So cool.
We're both doing the same exact thing.
So is it illegal for me to
You have
stand
a
behind
camera, I
him?
have a camera.
Is it illegal for me to stand behind him?
No. but
Okay.
He's
so
trying to do something.
Didn't you just tell me that you were going to arrest me for standing behind him?
Listen, you
Did
got your ID on
yes
you?
or no? No, I don't.
Okay, what's your name?
I don't need to give you my name.
You do, because the
I'm not being
security. Yes, you are.
Nobody has said a word to me about leaving.
Yes, I'm talking to you right now. Am I not?
Do you want me to leave? Give me a lawful order to leave.
Yes, they want you to leave, and they want you and they want you trespass from their.
You
property.
have not given me you have to give me a lawful order, and if I don't comply with your lawful order, then you can trespass me. Give me a lawful
listen,
order.
Then we could arrest you.
Give me a lawful order, and I will gladly leave the property.
Listen.
Give me a lawful
listen?
order. There's nothing to listen. Give me a lawful order.
In order for you,
I will gladly leave the
in order
property.
for you to be trespassed for future times, we have to know who's trespassing.
Wrong.
No.
I got trespassed here last night without giving my ID.
Okay, then exactly. So no one knows you're trespassing, and it's not valid, right?
Right. Wrong.
Wrong. Trespassed.
I'm sorry, I had to step away for 1 second. I actually did not know that my speakers were still on. But yeah, he just admitted to being trespassed the night before while being on the property in this instant. That's literally
and his big argument is, I got trespassed yesterday, but they didn't ask me to give me my name.
Yeah. You just admitted to. You just told on yourself, boy. Oh my God.
By the way, the audio is coming through great for me. I don't know if it is for everybody else, but it's coming through great on my end.
If you're hearing it great, I'm sure they're hearing it.
Okay.
All right.
Trespass without giving an ID. Unless you're gonna.
Why do they all have that
arrest me,
fucked up
and
hair
when I do
that
the
goes
crime,
down
You do not have
their
the right
face?
to ask me for ID.
It's part of the deal, apparently.
It is not
Because
wrong.
how can we say,
Well, that's
all right,
weird
this
stuff,
guy's
but no.
trespassing, we don't know who this guy is, right?
You can't trespass me from a property when you haven't even asked me to leave.
Let me leave.
Who?
Let me
What?
leave.
Sticker pimp. My name is Sticker Pimp.
Let me leave.
Stick
You
up
want me to
pimp.
leave. You're illegally identifying me. You're not allowing me to leave the property.
Lawful order.
No, I won't.
Like I said, bro, give me a lawful order and I'll go peacefully. It's on camera.
In order for someone to be trespassed,
I don't need to be trespassed. Just
No,
tell
the-
me.
the
Just give.
security here wants
Just
you
give me.
trespassed.
They don't, because I haven't said anything to the security here. They don't even know who I am.
yeah, they just talked to me.
Did they?
Exactly.
Did they
don't-
identify me personally?
Yes, they said. All
They
of
said
you,
who?
out
They said
here,
who?
Your group.
I've been sitting in that van until you guys showed up and surrounded my friends.
Oh.
So, like I said, give me a lawful order. See, they gave him a lawful order, and look, see what he's doing?
After he gave his name and information.
I don't need to give you my information. I'll just leave. See, I'm off the property. Don't put your hands on me.
Uh-oh,
Don't put your
here it
hands on me.
comes.
Don't put
Here
your
it
hands on me.
comes.
Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Do not touch me. Why am I being detained? Why am I being detained? Why? My hands are up. Why? Why am I being detained?
On your back. You're
For
gonna get fucking
what?
tased.
Yeah.
Why are you gonna tase me, bro?
Get him.
Hands on your fucking back. You can get tased. You understand me?
No, he don't understand you. He needs electricity. Get him. Get him. Woo!
Oh, beautiful.
I love baby.
Oh, beautiful.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
I was on my hand.
Stop moving.
I wasn't moving.
Oh.
I was on top of my head. I'm not resisting you. I haven't resisted you.
Why you arresting me, sir?
Why am I being arrested, bro? I tried to leave the property.
Why am I being arrested, bro?
Of course I have a fucking pistol on me. What does that have to do with anything?
Hey, can you grab that? Yeah.
What?
I'm crying over here, man. Fuck.
Roll over.
I haven't resisted you at all. I haven't resisted you at all.
Can you help me stand him up?
Please don't hurt me. Please don't hurt me.
Standing you up. So I'm not leaving you on your.
Yo, can somebody please document this? Careful, man. I don't
Oh,
have
we
a
did.
number on me. Please document this.
Thank you.
He documented it himself.
What did I do? What did I do? You fucking tased me 3 times.
Trespassing.
What did I do?
Refusing to leave. Resisting arrest. Oh no, a few of those.
Oh, that was fantastic. Thank you. We end it with a bang.
Yes, we got
we go out. That's the mic drop right there.
Yeah, hey, everybody, they better be at my showing tomorrow because
Wait, are you telling me you got man bun getting tased tomorrow?
No, that's the video I'm covering tomorrow. The man bun, I didn't see him get tased yet. I just know that this was one of his buddies that got tased, and I found it through him.
Well, what's up tomorrow? What's the tasing tomorrow?
This one.
Are you serious?
Yes, it's okay. Hey, you know
on
what?
my humble live stream here.
Yes, of course, because Mike, we cannot look YouTuber to YouTuber. Okay, we can't talk about tasing people without giving them some electricity. All right, they will go mad.
Dude, yeah,
you have to. Okay,
right.
Ask the audience.
You can't tease a taste. You're right.
Put a 1 in the chat if I'm right. You know, you bring up electricity, people, their mouths start watering for taser. They're like,
you got to bring that, especially after you spent an hour and a half, 2 hours listening to a numbskull that you want to see tased in the worst way.
Oh yeah, that guy deserves. Both of them deserve to be tased, but that other guy, Footloose, screw loose.
Footloose. I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to go with Footloose on the thumbnail.
Oh man, that'd be great.
I don't know. That'll send people down this whole Kevin Bacon alley. That's that's not relevant. I'm not sure.
The Kevin Bacon alley. What happened there? What are we talking
about? We've got Deborah Davis ideas, and those are always good.
What is the idea?
Wait. No. We don't need to get tased.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna talk about that. I've been tased before. It's not fun at all. 0. I've been tased. I've been gassed.
In spirit. Oh, he is. All right. Thank you, Team Skeptic. That was fantastic.
Oh, it's my pleasure, man.
I did this. I was literally. He knows this and so does Deborah, because I was messaging both of you, and I had a jury trial set for tomorrow, which settled, but literally 5 minutes before I went on. I kind of thought it was going to, but I wasn't sure. And then once it did, I'm like, all right, let's do this video. This was so fun. Thank you so much.
It was so funny because I literally was getting in the car as the notification goes off, and I look at it and I'm like, oh, Mike's doing the live stream. Hell yeah. So I put it on, and I guess it had jumped in about 5 or 10 minutes late. And all I hear is I see in the chat my name go by 3 times. With Team Skeptic covered this guy earlier, and then you're like, oh, Team Skeptic, that's right. Let me send him an invite. And I was like, oh, I show up and hear my name. Hello, how y'all doing?
Yeah,
so it was a pleasure, man. I love your content. Not just I'm a fellow YouTuber with you here, but I'm a huge fan of Law Talk with Mike. I'm a law nerd.
Well, thank you.
Can I board your vessel, sir? May I board the vessel?
I thought about, I'm like, should we get a bunch of other people on? But it actually worked out perfect like this tonight.
Sometimes having a lot of different really good opinions is a good thing. And sometimes doing where you're just back and forth with somebody because you're kind of feeding off of each other is also really good.
Yeah.
I think tonight was a great show, man. I had a blast.
Yeah. And it was not well put together, but you sent me the clip, and then I did clip it down and sort of put it in a focused manner. I'll give myself that. But in terms of scheduling and stuff, literally, as you know, I didn't know.
Yeah, you told me. You said it depends on if this trial I'm involved with settles or not, and that's
right.
Literally
and it's way too late for me usually, and it's way too long for me. But I'm like, I don't care. It's good. Let's just try it.
And that was a long one too. That was a tough one to get through, man. I'm surprised you did. And like you said, man, the guy really presented some pretty good arguments. If he just had a little bit better legal acumen, then he would have been able to probably get out of that ticket, probably beat the whole case, to be honest, and never even find himself in a position to be in that second video, you know?
Right. And when I say that, I'm not even like pumping myself up. I or any reasonable attorney could have beaten that rap.
The prosecutor wasn't even he wasn't even like overly like he didn't present indefensible arguments, you know, from the at not one bit.
No, because he knows the weakness in his own argument.
Right. And he knew the weakness in his opponent too. He knew that he wasn't going to get called out for half the shit that any basic lawyer would have called him out for, because obviously that cop was enforcing something that he himself didn't even know. He couldn't even recite what the basic principles of the picketing law was. And yet he still was able to secure the conviction. And it was totally because the sovereign citizen had he sold himself.
But here's what the cop and the prosecutor did well. They knew where the weaknesses were and they didn't overplay it.
Yeah.
You want to say this is vague? Fine. Let the judge say it. But we're not going to make up facts that weren't there or anything like that. They were very credible and good.
And I'm not buying that mental illness bullshit unless you want to say extreme narcissism is a mental illness, and maybe that is, and maybe that's what he's suffering from. But that guy is an attention-seeking whore. He wants everybody to be watching him. If you go and you watch the other video, the one that I shared with you, the arrest video, and that's the one he was playing for the judge. If you go and you watch that video, everything really makes sense. Then you say, okay, this is why it was so easy for them to get this conviction, because he was clearly antagonizing the police after being told to leave, after being given so much opportunity to leave that everybody else that didn't get ticketed had already either gotten to their car or was headed to their car. And that's what brought everybody back, was his interaction with the police. I don't think the police did anything wrong. But it was definitely not as bad as what he was in court. That's why I'm kind of, a little torn. Okay, I understand the court's position. Get him the fuck out of here. But I also see your position. He earned 30 days in jail, and not a single person would argue. There would not be a single Supreme Court justice that comes back and go, God damn it, Judge Mike from Chicago.
Right.
God damn it. Why'd you put that man in jail for 30 days and violate
you wouldn't be
right?
overturned for it. No two ways about it. Nor would she be. Nor would she. I mean, that is definitely within the judge's discretion there.
Yeah. So
that's
it was fun. Hey, I had a great time. Let's do it again.
Thank you. Everybody go like, subscribe. Team Skeptic, you already know, because y'all came over here from there anyway, so it doesn't matter. But do it.
Taser
and
Tuesday.
Go check out the video tomorrow. Is it a premiere or are you streaming it?
I'll be premiering it 4 p.m.
Okay, cool. So then you'll have it all set up and tight and like good funny bits in there.
I'm actually not even going to put in that much into that video because I get nothing in return off of it. It's kind of one of those things. I'm just doing it because I know the people want a Mike, if there's any advice I can give you, it's taser videos. Taser videos. Okay.
I know, but they get demonetized.
Mike, don't worry about the money on those. Just get the taser videos out. The people will love you. They will
watch them cry. Yeah, no, I get it because I feel the same way.
Yeah, it's community service. I see it as community service, paying back.
Same with the Windows Smash.
Windows Smash the same way, man. Every time you see a Windows Smash video, make sure you like that one because you enjoyed it and I didn't get paid for nothing on that video because YouTube will not monetize it if the window gets broken. If they lose the Mako challenge, you lose monetization. That's the rule of YouTube.
Yeah. If it's fun, they'll demonetize it. That's all there is to it. That's why I run a G-rated shop.
Wait, I said fuck a lot.
That's all right. Well, I mean, this isn't monetized any way you slice it.
Don't even try to get this one monetized. There's a taser in this one.
I agree. I had a great time, and thank you all in the chat, whoever's left or whatever. But I can't believe we had this many people hang this long at this hour. I've never even tried it before.
Oh yeah. We have a good late night following. I do it sometimes. So.
Wow. All right. Thank you all. Thanks for coming out. Good night. Good night, Team Skeptic.
Yep. Take care, brother.
See y'all soon. Bye.